Well, the Friars are in the road blacks today, the traditional blacks. White lettering, white numerals, white trim. St. John's wearing the home white today with red numerals, red lettering, blue and red trim on the predominantly white uniforms. Big East officiating crew today. Oh, Joe Hassett is going to love this one. Brian O'Connell, Matt Potter, Nathan Hall.
Well, the good thing is we're way up here. I can't even tell who's who.
Can't tell who blows the call, right?
But, you know, all three of them are bad, so it doesn't matter who's calling the game.
So here we go. Nathan Hall is actually going to be the lead official. He'll step into the center circle. Oswin will jump it up against Ejiofor, the preseason player of the year in the Big East Conference. He leads this Red Storm team in scoring and in rebounding. And yeah, the Friars have their hands full here this afternoon, but man, no time like the present to start off the new year with the right step on the road. And again, the Friars came charging from behind here a year ago and almost pulled it off at the end, as we've been talking about overall. So here we go from MSG to double tap in the backcourt, controlled by the Red Storm. And St. John's will go basket to our right on the radio here in half number one. The Friars open up in a man-to-man defense. Ejiofor at the top of the key with the basketball. Friars playing way off him, so he turns around, shoots the three, and hits it.
Yeah, you give him wide open three, he's going to take that shot. If he can put that into his arsenal, he's going to be very tough to guard.
He shoots 26% from three, and he buries the first one from the top of the key. Friars basket to our left. Man defense for St. John's. Handling it out front is Jason Edwards. He's got Joson Sannon guarding him. Sellers on the right wing. Sellers gives the ball back now underneath for Oswin, who throws it up and over the head of Jameer Jones. He tried to hit him on the lob.
They had that play set up nicely. It just the pass wasn't a good pass by Oswin. Again, the timing and rhythm's going to be a little bit off here early, I worry.
Yeah, you've got to worry about turnovers, which gives St. John's more possessions. Hopkins brings the ball into the forecourt. The right wing with it is Jackson. So Ian Jackson goes to the left side now, back up top. Driving to the right side is Sannon. Sannon hands back off for Isaiah Sellers. No relation to Jalen Sellers. On the right wing, Sannon, top of the key for Ejiofor, fakes the three. He drives inside, kicks it off right corner, three-pointer up. No good. Long rebound taken by Hopkins on the left wing. Hopkins goes up and under, kicks the ball back out front for Sannon at the top of the key. He's got an open look at three. That's no good. The Friars still can't get a rebound. Ejiofor controls on the left baseline. Ejiofor tries to muscle his way in. Ball is loose on the floor. Ejiofor picks it back up in the lane. About 16 seconds in the lane on that one. Back to the left side again for Sannon. Back top of the key now. Ejiofor launches a number three, and he hits two in a row.
How about Ejiofor? I mean, that's an offensive rebounds there. Just killed the Friars. That's what we worried about in the pregame here. You got to get on the glass against St. John's.
And then Ejiofor knocks down 2 threes, and you can't get a defensive rebound. Pressure in the backcourt by St. John's. And there is what?
Timeout by...
Yeah, Kim English called a timeout. Friars couldn't get the ball across the timeline.
Well, see, when you have this kind of pressure, you know, you're going to have, and you don't have a true point guard out there, this is what happens. You got to get somebody to get the ball and push the ball up the floor quickly.
So they call a 30-second timeout here with 18-17 to play in the opening half. And St. John's has 2 3-pointers already from Zuby Ejiofor to have a quick 6-0 lead.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. You know, St. John's in a little bit of a rhythm. You know, you mentioned it, John. They've already played 3
games since the Friars played their last one.
3 conference games, and the Friars haven't played at all. And you come in here again, Madison Square Garden against a team that's red hot right now. They're shooting over 50%, 51% from 3-point range in conference play. So they're, you know, and Ejiofor's their worst shooter from outside. He's made 2 for 2 to start this ball game. So the kind of start you don't want to see the Friars have. They had a nice play set up the last time down for the alley-oop for Jones, but Jones is playing Hopkins out there, and Hopkins was able to get to the glass on him as Jones was trying to box him out, but he ended up on the floor trying to box out Hopkins. Hopkins is a strong guy. He's playing, you know, he's been around a long time here. You got to make sure you get a body on him and make him run you over when you go to the glass.
So the Friars will inbound it in the backcourt to Edwards, who will bring it up against Jackson for St. John's across the timeline to the left. Now he works to the right side off the screen. He's going to penetrate right down the lane. He's going to scoop it up at the hoop, rolls it up, and it comes off the rim and a rebound for Hopkins. That one just would not fall.
That was a good move, though.
Right corner, Jackson, wide open three, in and out. Rebound, St. John's again. Ejiofor lost it. It goes out of bounds.
Well, Ejiofor had the rebound, but
he lost it off his foot, out of bounds.
Yeah, Edwards put his hand in there and knocked it off his foot. Friars are lucky to get that one back.
So Providence will inbound it. But St. John's is going to go with some full court pressure here. Floyd has trouble getting the ball inbounds, and it gets tipped out of bounds on the far side by Sellers.
See, Patino knows that Friars don't have a true point guard, so he's going to come out and overplay all the passing lanes. He doesn't want to allow the ball in bounds. The The Friars have a tough time getting the ball in bounds, and they'll trap the first pass.
Inbounds comes from Jameer Jones, and it will be Edwards to bring it into the forecourt to our left. Edwards gives it back to Osmond at the top of the key, hands off for Floyd, circles to the top of the key, cuts back to the left side against Sannon. Now he gets down in toward the left post, gets into the lane, turns around, 8-footer up, got his arm knocked, but no foul call. Hopkins picks up the loose basketball.
That's usually his move right there. Just wasn't able to knock that one down.
Jackson lobs it down low for Hopkins. It goes out of bounds. Jameer Jones touched it last, and St. John's will have the possession.
Interesting matchup. You got the freshman Jones on Hopkins.
Going to the athleticism.
Yeah, he's very good athleticism.
Inbounds to Ejiofor, gives it right back to Ian Jackson, who drives the lane, goes up inside, and then got the shot blocked, but it looked like there's a foul on the play, and it's going to be called on Jameer Jones.
Jones came over to help out.
So first
good move there by Jackson. He had the screen on the wing here, John. He turned the corner, got to the basket. Friars converged on him, but a little bit too late. Jackson gets himself to the line.
Foul on Jones, the first. Jackson 2 at the line. First shot is good. Jackson averaging 11.8 points per game. He's an 88% free throw shooter. St. John's as a team is just under 75% for the foul line, so they've improved in that category over a year ago. Transfer from North Carolina, buries 2 free throws, and they've scored the first 8 points of the game. And they're going to go full court pressure again, just what we figured. And we'll see if the Friars can figure out a way to answer it. Jalen Sellers against Oziah Sellers for St. John's in the matchup as Jalen bringing it into the forecourt. And we haven't yet played 3 minutes deep into the Garden. Comes off a high screen, top of the key, steps back, fires a deep 3 off the back iron, no good. There's a rebound again for Jackson. Jackson takes it 2-on-1. Alley-oop is off the hands of Ejiofor, who crashed to the floor. And this time Corey Floyd controls it and got it stolen by Jackson, who goes up and dunks it home.
Well, Corey Floyd trying to get the ball up the floor there, took his eye off the ball, was deflected away, and a turnover, easy basket for St. John's.
And it's a 10-0 start to this game for St. John's. It was almost like you could predict it.
Yep.
On the right side, here's Floyd, curls to the top of the key, comes to the left wing for Jalen Sellers. Sellers starts right, left, back to the right, drives the lane, throws up the runner, can't get it to go, and again the Friars are scoreless. Rebound for Ejiofor. Ejiofor brings the dribble into the forecourt. Top of the key, hands off. Hopkins has got an open look at 3. No. Rebound tipped and controlled, and a foul called on Floyd for going over the back. Unbelievable.
Well, I don't know. We're way up here to see that, but it looks like he had boxed out. Ejiofor pretty well on that one, but picks up the foul. Flyers going with some subs right now.
So into the game, Duncan Powell checks in. Stephon Vaks checks in.
A little altercation with Sellers and Jackson right now.
Yep.
A little talking going on.
And the Friars also, did they make another change? Nope, that's it.
That's it.
And St. John's, yep, they're going to keep, yeah, they've got their same lineup in there. All right, so they'll inbound from the baseline. Jackson on the left side for Ejiofor. Gives it up to Jackson, curls in front of the Friar bench, back out front for Hopkins, gets off an open look for 3, in and out, and back in again.
Well, you like Hopkins taking threes, that's for sure. You got that one there to crawl in, but he's the guy, if you want him to take a 3, that's the guy on the team you want.
Only 30% on the season, but this is a 13-0 run to start the game. I mean, it's just a nightmare beginning. Driving to the right, Edwards to Jalen Sellers, who missed a 3 on the last possession. Works to the right side, crossover, drives to the rim on Hopkins, lays it up and scores.
Good move by Sellers right there, and had a little word with Hopkins as he went to the basket there.
And the Friars take 4 minutes and 15 seconds to score in this game, 13-2. Sannon, top of the key, 3-pointer, up, in and out, rebound tipped, comes out of bounds on the right side, St. John's ball.
Again, another second shot opportunity. Every time St. John's misses, they're able to get another opportunity on the offensive glass.
Well, I wish we could tell you a better story, but the Friars are getting killed to the backboards and can't buy a basket. And the result is 13-2, St. John's, 15:34 to go in the opening half. Timeout from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
About talking to you off the air about the start for the Friars being a little rusty, not playing in 2 weeks, and St. John's playing good basketball, but you really didn't expect Ejiofor to hit 2 3-pointers and Hopkins to hit a 3-pointer, and 9 of their 13 points are from those 2 guys from 3-point range. I mean, that's unusual. Right. But the Friars have to get some better looks and get on the glass. I mean, they got to rebound the basketball, and right now they're getting beat up on the boards. 8 rebounds for St. John's to just 1 for the Friars, and 4 of those 8 rebounds are offensive rebounds, and that's been the difference. St. John's getting those second shot opportunities and converting on them.
So we got 15:34 to go here in the opening half. And St. John scored the first 13 points of the game before finally the Friars could get a driving layup by Jalen Sellers to crack the scoring goose egg. 1 for 5 from the floor. St. John's just 4 of 10, but 3 of those 4 are already three-point baskets. We mentioned they hit 15 out of 27 against Georgetown in their 95-83 win over the Hoyas on Tuesday, and that 15 made threes tied a St. John's Big East record for made three-pointers in a contest.
Yeah, they're starting to figure it out, going inside out. That's what they want to do. That's what Patino wants to do. He wants to get the ball inside the Ejiofor. And if you're not going to guard Ejiofor from the top of the key there early, he's going to take the shot. He probably won't take that stuff late, but early on, you know, it's not a lot of pressure making that shot. But Friars have to do a better job of getting out on the shooters and stopping those second shot opportunities. 8 of the 10 shots for St. John's have been three-point attempts, too. Right. So they're really looking. That's a Patino team. He wants to take those threes. The first year of the three-pointer, he was at Providence. He had guys taking threes when nobody else was doing it, and they got themselves to the Final Four on that team. So they believes in that three-pointer.
So St. John's with the basketball, and Jackson gets the ball between the circles. Top of the key, bounce pass, leaves it off for Hopkins. Hopkins drives to the top, stops, looks. Friars going 2-3 zone, and to dump off on the inside to Jackson on the right wing. Wraparound pass to Ejiofor against Powell. Throws it off left corner, three-pointer for Ejiofor Sellers. No good. Rebound tipped, middle of the lane, and a foul again on the Friars going over the back. Unbelievable.
Matt Potter doesn't like the way the Friars are boxing out. That's the second time he's called a foul on a rebound.
Yep. Which one? Who did they get on that one?
They get that on Powell. Trying to box out Ejiofor.
So Powell gets called for the foul. That's 3 on the Friars here. Inbounds, three-pointer left wing, in and out. No good. Rebound tip. No good. Rebound tip again.
Ejiofor. I mean, Powell can't keep him off the glass. Ejiofor is just killing the Friars on the glass.
And Ejiofor's got 8 of their 15 points. Friars are just getting murdered on the backboards. And there's a steal by Ejiofor, knocked into the backcourt, but picked up by Powell at the opposite foul line.
Can't be lazy with the pass with this team.
Powell driving on Ejiofor, hands off, and gives it to Edwards. Edwards works to the right on Jackson, cuts back to the left on Jackson. Shot clock down to 6, goes up and under, drives the paint, and gets called, knocked to the floor, and gets a foul on Ejiofor.
Well, that was doing a good job of going north and south, John. You know, a lot of times the Friars get caught up of going east and west, sideways, but he turns the corner and gets to the basket, tries to create some activity going to the glass and gets himself to the foul line.
So Edwards to the foul line, shooting 2. The first shot is good. Jason on the season is 80% from the free throw line. 18.5 points per game, leading the Big East Conference in scoring. Oswin is back into the game, replacing Jameer Jones. Ryan Mila has now checked in for the Friars as well.
It's got to be a little bit exciting, too. A lot of these Friars have never played in the Madison Square Garden before. Their first foray here.
Second shot by Edwards is in and out. Missed it. And it's 15-3 with 14.5 to play in the opening half. St. John's substitution, Dylan Darling, the transfer from Idaho State, who was a Big Sky Player of the Year a year ago.
He's a good player.
Has the ball on the left side, comes cross-court right for Ejiofor Sellers to the top of the key with it. Ejiofor comes right, finds Sandin. Sandin feeds the post inside. That's Dylan Mitchell who's in the game. Mitchell drives inside, turnaround over Mila, around the rim, no, and there's Powell with a defensive rebound. Shocking.
First time they were able to get that break started.
Driving is Edwards, gets cut off at the top of the key by Darling. Uses the screen, goes pick and roll for Oswin, who puts it down on the floor, and he got fouled on the floor before he put up the shot. And just in for St. John's was Ruben Prey, but I think they're going to give the foul to number 4, Ejiofor Sellers, instead.
Yeah, Sellers came over and got underneath Oswin when he rolled that time. Didn't give him any room to move, and that picks up the foul.
Well, the Friars will inbound from the baseline right of the basket. In the right corner, Edwards has it, pulls the ball out on the perimeter, and gives it to Powell down low. He's got Ejiofor Sellers on him. He's going to try to muscle his way in. He feeds it out to Mila, and Mila dropped the ball, and it's picked up and stolen by Ejiofor Sellers.
That was a bad pass right there. Mila's ankles.
Here's Darling, driving left, gets cut off by Mila. Driving right, putting it up off the glass, no good. Rebound, it was by Sandin. Friars grabbed the ball. Now up the left side is Vaks. Hasn't yet taken a shot, just into the game. Off to the right wing, driving is Edwards, gets into the lane, scoops into the hoop, gets him to go and count the basket. Blocking foul underneath, called on Dylan Darling.
Well, Friars were able to keep St. John's off the backboard. Guess why? Ejiofor is on the bench getting a rest here, and the Friars were able to get a stop 2 times in a row, get the ball down the floor, and get themselves to the foul line in a basket.
So Edwards will go back to the line after making 1 of 2 a couple of moments ago. Has 3 of the 5 Friar points on the board here with 13:23 to play in the first half. And the free throw is good.
Well, Edwards can get you going there offensively. I mean, he's looking to score every time, and he's got a good matchup right now. Darling's on him, and he can beat him off the dribble.
St. John's will bring in Lefteris Leotopoulos, 6'4" sophomore from Greece, into the game. 15-6, Red Storm by 9. Prey has it and comes to the right wing for Dylan Mitchell.
Last time we saw a kid from Greece, he had 39 against the Friars at Georgia, against Virginia Tech.
At Dallas, right?
Yep.
Prey has it, top of the key. Now goes left for Darling. Darling curls to the right side, outside the three-point stripe. Hands off on the right wing for Mitchell. Mitchell back left. Leotopoulos drives left, throws up the runner at the rim. No good. Rebound taken by Mila, and a foul on St. John's. Friars box out that time under the basket.
Well, St. John's is going to the bench now. You got all guys out there who didn't start the ball game, and Friars were able to take advantage of it on the glass.
That foul on Dylan Mitchell. So that's 4 team fouls on St. John's. The Friars have 3. And Providence will inbound the ball. St. John's will guard away from the ball in the backcourt. And Mila's looking for someone to get it to. He finds Powell under the basket.
Good job by Powell, seeing he was in trouble, give him some relief to get the ball inbounds.
Mila brings the ball into the forecourt. And he's guarded there by Leotopoulos. Drives to the right, passes back to left, top of the key, Arunse. Powell, open 3, left wing, short. Rebound taken by Leotopoulos. Now he'll bring the dribble into the forecourt to our right, off to the right wing for Mitchell. Mitchell's going to enter the paint, kicks the ball back outside for Darling at the top of the key. Darling, wraparound pass, Prey at the foul line. Prey spins inside, left-handed move, tipped, and goaltending called.
Nice move by Prey that time. He took the ball right and spun with the left hand and get it up off the glass as he froze Oswin. Oswin's a pretty good defensive player out there, but good move by Prey.
Unfortunately, Oswin didn't get the ball on the way up, and he smashed it off of the backboard, and so a goaltending call on Arunse. First basket for Ruben Prey makes it 17-6 St. John's. Inbounds comes to Vaks. Vaks gives it right back to Jalen Sellers, who's come back into the game. Sellers crosses over, right side, three-pointer on the way, in and out, no good. And the Red Storm grabbed a rebound, a foul on the floor called, though.
Prey with a forearm in the back on Oswin. I mean, they've been calling it on the other end all the time on the Friars boxing out. And Friars get a call themselves on that one with a foul on Oswin.
Prey picks up the foul. That's the 5th team foul on St. John's. The Friars get a reprieve and get the ball back down 11.
The Friars, the offense settling in a little bit better now and not allowing second shot opportunities on St. John's.
But you got to figure out a way to get this offense cooking now. You still got a 2-week hangover, I think, still kind of lurking over you here.
You got to give Vaks a shot here. He's been in the ball game a while now. I'd just like to see him get a shot.
Corey Floyd back again. He works inside, turns around, puts it up, and scores. They tried to take a charge. Darling did. It didn't get called, and Floyd gets the basket.
Well, that was a flop by Darling. That's what Floyd's got to do. He get in that paint, take the ball up strong.
Dylan dumps it back out to Leotopoulos, finds Prey on the high post. Prey goes left, finds Josiah Sellers, comes off the screen. Top of the key with it, fakes, drives, jumper up, no good. Rebound, Providence. Arunse has the ball. Vaks will bring it into the forecourt, right to left, stops between the circles, comes off a high screen, rolls to the right, goes to the rim, got it blocked from behind by Prey and out of bounds.
Prey gives him some nice minutes when he comes in the game. Good shot blocker right there. Vaks trying to get involved offensively, wasn't able to get that one off.
Timeout, 11:37 still to play in the opening half. Friars get up off the deck, but still down 9 at 17-8. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.
Well, stats here, Friars just 3 for 10 from the floor. 0 for 3 from three-point range, 2 of 3 from the foul line, 5 rebounds now. One of those is an offensive rebound. 3 personal fouls, 3 turnovers. St. John's, on the other hand, 6 for 19. They're not lightening up at all. 3 for 10 from three-point range. They hit their first 3 out of 4 to start the ball game. 2 for 2 from the line. St. John's has 12 rebounds, though. 6 of those are offensive rebounds. They have 2 assists on their made baskets and 1 turnover. But neither team shooting the ball very well, but key to this one here, as John has the big lead, 17-8, is the second chance opportunities. They're getting all over the glass. outscored the Friars 8-2 on second chance opportunities, and that's the difference in the game right now.
Well, as long as you can keep them, I guess, within earshot and eyeshot, so to speak.
Well,
I mean, you got to remember, St. John's, as we know, got out to a double-digit lead in the first half a year ago here, and the Friars came back and probably should have won the game at the end.
Yeah, they did. It was R.J. Louise who, for some inexplicable reason, ended up being chastised by St. John's. He had a year left of eligibility, but he had a big rebound in that game on a missed free throw. Friars had position. He was able to steal the ball away and put it in the basket, and Friars lose by 2. But, you look at R.J. Louise. Imagine if he was on this team this year. He'd probably be the second best player on the team, and they didn't even want him back. And nobody drafted him in the NBA either. But, he's a situation where Pitino went out and got some players, and they're trying to get some chemistry going in. If they can get it going based on paper what they look like, they could be difficult. But right now, they're really struggling as a team, but they're starting to get better. The Friars have possession right here. Need to get a good look at the basket while Ejiofor is on the bench.
Mila looks for the inbounds, baseline, right of the basket. And he's going to have to throw it into the backcourt to Corey Floyd. Floyd has it and will bring it back into the forecourt against Dylan Darling. Left-handed dribble, left side with the ball, comes back to the center for Vaks. Vaks, Darling switches off on him, starts right, goes to the left, double team. They find Floyd on the left wing. Floyd drives with 4 to shoot, goes up, banks it up, got it blocked, gets it back, got to go up quickly with it. And the shot clock expires.
Corey Floyd made a nice move. He pump fake, got the big guy in the air, jump into him. Create some contact there. Don't allow him to get the block shot there. You get the contact, you get yourself to the foul line. See the pump fake right there? Boom, He had his man up in the air.
Prey got a piece of it, and that's the problem. He didn't go back up quick enough. So St. John's gets the basketball. Darling bounces the right side from Mitchell. Leotopoulos back to Darling, comes off a high screen, finds underneath, turnaround Mitchell jumper, good from 8.
Good pass by Darling right there. He got the ball on a nice rhythm there. Mitchell knocks it down.
Dylan Mitchell's first basket, and that ball flies in the air. It goes out of bounds, but last touch by Mitchell on the sideline near the Friar bench. And it is absolutely an adventure every time the Friars try to get the ball in bounds.
Yeah, St. John's doing a good job of overplaying all the passing lanes, and they face guard their man in the press, so they can't have, Friars don't have an outlet to pass the ball.
Vaks comes out of the game. Edwards comes back in. Friars get the ball inbound to Floyd. They go right to Oswin, and Oswin dunks it home.
That's the way you got to attack the press. You got to attack it to score. But Friars just having a tough time getting the ball in bounds. If they can get it in bounds, get some shots.
Feet of the post. Mitchell kicks the ball back outside for Oziah Sellers. Scoots through in the right wing. Pulls it out behind the three-point stripe. Penetrates top of the key for Darling. Hesitates. Spins to the left. Gets to the foul line. Prey gets an open look at 3. Off the iron. No. And there is Edwards with a rebound for Providence. 19-10 Red Storm. Edwards drives to the right side, gets cut off by Darling, circles back left, ball got tipped, but retrieved by Sellers. Sellers is going to drive right to the rim inside on Prey and scores.
Good move by Sellers. He took it in the body of Prey right there. Rick Pitino wants a timeout as he's not happy with somebody out there.
He didn't like that particular defensive stand, I don't think. So Pitino calls a timeout, and it's 19-12, and the Friar fans here, and there are several thousand here, as you would imagine, would make the trip to what has been affectionately known as Dunk South in the past. Start to make a little noise. 19-12, 10-12 to go in the first half.
Yeah, coming down on the train, there was a bunch of Friar fans on the train yesterday morning. Now make a weekend of it down here. But Pitino had Ejiofor out for a long time, and he had Hopkins out for a long time, but he called a timeout there to put those two guys back on the floor. Those two guys rebounding the ball with a big difference when they were on the floor out there. That's how they get that big lead with the offensive rebounds.
So St. John's scored the first 13 points of the game. Since then, the Friars have outscored St. John's 12-6. Just sort of crawled back into this one.
Yeah, they crawled back in, and Pitino took both those guys out, Hopkins and Ejiofor, but they're back in there now.
Hopkins back in as well. Jameer Jones has re-entered for the Friars. In fact, the Friars have their starting 5 back in there. And St. John's inbounds. Darling has it in the backcourt against Jameer Jones. Now Hopkins will begin to cross the mid-floor line to the right side. High post for Ejiofor. Ejiofor leaves it off for Sannon. Sannon around the rim to the left side, arc to the left side, feeds the post, Ejiofor. Oswin right behind him, doubled there. And there was
travel.
What? A travel called on Ejiofor.
You know, it's funny. Sometimes coaches take guys out. You know, question Patino is a great coach, Hall of Famer, but sometimes you take guys out who are in good rhythm. You take them out of the game, and you put them back in. They've kind of lost their edge a little bit. And Ejiofor, first time he catches the ball, he ends up with a turnover.
Friars get the ball inbound to Jalen Sellers, and it tipped off, and it comes out of bounds. Leotopoulos forced that turnover. Sellers turned, and Leotopoulos was right there. The ball flies off his hands.
Well, Corey Floyd got a little anxious underneath the basket there. The clock was in his head was going off, and he threw a hard pass to Sellers right out of bounds. I mean, Friars just having a difficult time against his press.
5 turnovers already for the Friars. St. John's with the ball, again with a 7-point lead. Jackson back in the game.
Little zone right now.
Shannon, top of the key. Hopkins down low, scoop to the hoop. A reverse, missed the shot. Jackson missed the reverse layup. Friars get the rebound. Here's Edwards streaking into the forecourt, goes around Shannon, lays it up. It goes off the rim. Saved by Jones. No, he stepped out of bounds. Wow.
Good move by Edwards. Just wasn't able to finish off that layup. That's what you have to do. You get a turnover or a rebound, you got to push the ball up the floor.
He's missed 2 layups in this game, too. So, again, Red Storm with the ball in a 7-point lead.
Friars in the zone again, too, John.
Friars stay in the zone. Looks almost like a 3-2, Joe. Into the middle, and a reach-in foul called.
Corey Floyd picks up a cheap one right there. If he went for the pass, he would have had a steal right there, but he just reached in and tried to slap it out of there.
So Floyd picks up his second. That's 4 team fouls. St. John's will inbound, 20 to shoot. From the baseline, right corner, Leotopoulos got it knocked out of bounds by Jalen Sellers. And again, the Red Storm will keep it. And Hopkins will move now to the post on the baseline and inbound the basketball for St. John's. He bounces inbounds to Ejiofor, gives it right back to Hopkins, who gets an open look at 3 from the corner. No good. Rebound, Oswin.
He can have all the threes he wants. I mean, you just make him shoot those outside shots.
Here comes Floyd into the forecourt. Crossover, goes right to the rim. Banks it up off the rim. It goes in.
That's where you got to be, Corey. Aggressive. Get to the glass and finish.
Friars have pulled back within 5. Open look at 3. Left wing, no good. Rebound, Sellers, and a foul called on the floor. Did they get it on the shot?
What are they calling that on?
Called on Jason Edwards?
Corey Floyd.
No, it's called on Floyd, and Floyd just picked up his 3rd. Corey, what are you doing? He's got to come out of the game.
He just pushed somebody out of bounds on that rebound. That's what he did. He pushed out the Ejiofor. Ejiofor going to the glass, and Corey just hit him with a forearm.
So he's picked up 3 of the Friar 5 fouls here with 8:59 to go in the first half.
See, with Corey, what do you have to do with Ejiofor? He just puts his head down and goes to the basket. You got to get in front of him and make him run you over.
Yes, exactly.
And then just flop.
So St. John's will inbound it from the baseline left side this time, and the ball is knocked out of bounds by Oswin into the Friar bench. Well, that's unfortunate. Corey's on the bench in foul trouble now. Ryan Mila comes into the game to replace him.
Well, Corey's the de facto point guard. The Friars really don't have one, so somebody's got to step up in that position now, handle the ball.
Inbounds. Now left side. Moving to the right with it is Jackson. Comes back left for Shannon. Shannon crossover, drives the lane. Stolen by Edwards. Took it from him. Streaking up the floor. He's going to go with a reverse layup, and it will go in.
Good move there. Good steal by Edwards. He's instant offense, that guy. Gets a nice score there. Friars down by 3.
6 for Edwards. It's 19-16. Friar fans getting on their feet inside the Garden. Ejiofor steps back, a 3-pointer up, good.
How about Ejiofor with 3 threes in this ball game?
He hits 26% from 3, and he's nailed 3 for 3 in the first half.
There's a foul there.
It's called on Jackson for a hold on the inbounds.
Yeah, he grabbed Ejiofor. He grabbed Edwards and fell on the floor there, picks up the foul.
I think you might want to get out and guard Ejiofor now. He's got 11 of the 22 St. John's points. He's 3 for 3 from 3. Foul called on Jackson, his first. That's 6 on St. John's. 1 more to go before you get into the shooting bonus. And it's 22-16.
Friars have a good contingent of fans right here.
I'm not sure what we're waiting on here. Is Brian O'Connell has yet to give the ball to Ryan Mila, who's waiting to get the ball in bounds, and there's some discussion between O'Connell and Kim English.
Kim wants to know where the ball's going to be put in bounds.
He wants to know if he can move on the baseline. He can. Bounces inbounds, comes to Edwards. And Edwards will bring it up against Ian Jackson. To the right side, cuts back to the left between the circles. On the wing now for Sellers. Sellers against Sellers. for St. John's, uses his screen, kicks it right for Mila. Mila open momentarily, moves inside on Hopkins, crosses over, works to the left, kicks the ball, goes out of bounds, and it is off of Jackson.
Mila had him beat. He just fumbled the ball. Wanted to finish up with the left hand. He had Hopkins off the dribble, but Friars keep the ball though.
Timeout, 7:56 to go in the half, 22-16. St. John's with the lead from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
Well, it's been a tale of the offensive rebound so far, John, for this St. John's team. The Friars have taken 9 less shots than St. John's. The Friars are 7 for 16 from the floor against pretty good pressure. Not bad shooting. The St. John's is 8 for 25. They've gotten all those extra shot opportunities. St. John's is 4 for 14 from 3. Friars are 0 for 3 from three-point range. I haven't hit one yet. But the rebounds have been hurting the Friars so far on the offensive glass, 6-2. And that's why St. John's has all those extra possessions. Both teams have been to the foul line once. St. John's is 2 for 2. The Friars are 2 for 3 from the foul line. So it's the second shot opportunities that give St. John's a 6-point lead. Friars hanging in there tough, but you can't allow your opposition to take 9 more shots, 9 more possessions that they've gotten not the opportunity to get a score.
They've outshot the Friars 14-3 from 3.
Yeah, I mean we talked about St. John's in conference play. They're shooting 51% from 3, but you don't expect Ejiofor to go 3 for 3 from three-point range,
no.
And Hopkins hit a 3. When Hopkins hits a 3, it's like a holiday. He's not a good outside shooter, obviously, but he does all the other things for them. But those two guys are making threes. They have 4 3-point. They have all the three-pointers for St. John's in this game. The Friars are only down by 6.
Well, St. John's again scored the first 13 points of the game. And then the Friars came back in a 12-6 run to pull within 7. And then they were able, actually, to pull within 3. It was 19-16 before that last three-pointer was made by Zuby Ejiofor. And it's 22-16 right now. Friars have the basketball. They're into the floor. Basket to our left here with 7:56 to go on the half.
8 on the shot clock.
Mila finds Edwards in the corner. Osmond back to Edwards, curls to the right, starts to the left with 3, with 2, with 1, goes up with a jumper at the buzzer, off the back rim, no good, and tipped in!
Jones.
Jameer Jones gets the tip.
With his athleticism, well, I tell you what, he was in between 2 guys right there, was able to tip that one in.
Wow, his first basket of the game, pulls the Friars back within 4. Hand off to Sannon between the circles, the young man from Fall River, the right at the top of the key, jab steps, feeds Ejiofor inside, turn around short, no, and he gets fouled.
By Mila. Well, Ejiofor, when he sets the screen and rolls in there, he gets great position for his teammates to find him. And when he gets it that close to the basket, forget it. He's going to finish or get fouled or both.
Well, if I'm the Red Storm, the ball has got to be touched by Ejiofor at least once every possession.
Well, he's the whole offense right now. He's making 3-pointers. He's getting to the glass.
Now he's getting to the foul line after Mila picks up his first. And that is now 6 on the Friars. And the first free throw is good. That's 12 points for Zuby Ejiofor, who averages 14.6 per game. And we've got 7:26 to go in the first half.
Well, he's a load inside. I mean, we saw it last year 2 times. I mean, he hit the offensive glass nonstop. He just doesn't give up on any rebounds. He tries to get everything.
Misses the second. Oswin gets the rebound. It's a 5-point St. John's lead. St. John's has 5 players that average double figures coming into the game. Edwards drives to the right side in front of the Red Storm bench. Jones now touches it out front. Hopkins picks him up, and he'll give the ball back to Edwards. Starts to the left, cuts back to the right on Jackson. Gets down on the baseline. Kicks the ball back out to Jameer. Jameer gets into the lane, leans in, uphand with the right hand, no good. Rebound fought for. Vaks is there, goes to the floor with the ball. And what's the call?
Jump ball.
Jump ball, and the Friars get the arrow.
Good job by Vaks staying on the glass. You know, he and Jones in there together is always a good combination. Jones, he doesn't give up on anything either. He expects to go get that ball. And Vaks needs to get some shots. I'd like to set some screens for him, like a double screen where he comes around the screen and catch and shoot.
Got to get him involved.
He's trying to beat his man off the dribble all the time. You know, he's good at that, but I think he works so hard, and sometimes he doesn't get any shots off.
Dylan Mitchell back in the game for St. John's. Ball into the corner for Edwards. He spins out of trouble with a fresh 20 on the shot clock. Back out front now for Jalen Sellers. Sellers against Oziah Sellers. Now finds Vaks left of the key, starts right, and Hopkins picks him up. Now goes to the right wing. Ball got tipped out of bounds by Oziah Sellers. He has got quick hands.
Well, what St. John's does, too, they don't give up the 3-point shot. They stay out there. They don't help on the ball handler going to the basket there. They stay on the 3.
But that should allow you some room to go to the rim, correct?
Exactly.
Sellers inbounds in front of the Red Storm bench to Edwards. Edwards penetrates to the left, gets double teamed, leans in, throws the ball up, and they're going to call a foul. Now they're going to give him 3 free throws as he got knocked to the floor, and the foul is on Ian Jackson, and there's going to be 3 free throws. Holy smokes, how about that one?
That's a veteran move right there. You get the defensive player up in the air, you jump into him. He's at your mercy. Get the shot off and get yourself to the foul line. Good job there by Edwards.
So Jackson picks up his second foul. That's team foul 7 on St. John's with 6:39 to go in the half. And 3 free throws here for Jason Edwards. First one is good. So Jason Edwards, we told you before the game, not only leads the Friars in scoring, he leads the entire Big East at 18.5 per game.
Oh, he can score. He's a scoring machine. He's playing good basketball right now. He's a guy.
Second one slides in and out, however.
It's nice to have him on the floor when you're struggling to get a shot, struggling to make points. And he's instant offense when he's out there.
Dylan Darling re-enters for St. John's. One more try here for Edwards, who has 7 of the Friar 19 points up on the board, and the third one is good, so he's got 8 now. And Providence is back within 3, as close as they've been since it was 3-0. And it was 13-0 at one point.
Friars in the zone right now, too.
2-3 zone. Darling out top with the ball. Comes to the right wing for Oziah Sellers. Oziah comes back left for Hopkins. Hopkins comes right to Sellers. Sellers drives down on the baseline for Mitchell. Mitchell reverses back out. Darling, an open look at 3. Banks it off the rim. Friars get the rebound with Oswin. Friars incredibly could tie it with a 3 on this possession. Here's Edwards coming off a high screen. Rolls to the right. Loses the dribble. Falls to the floor. And Ejiofor jumps on top of him to tie it up, and the arrow belongs to St. John's. Another unforced error.
Well, he made a good move there, and then he just lost his balance and ends up with the turnover there.
That is 6 turnovers for the Friars now in the first half. Providence came into the game only averaging 11.5 per game.
Yeah, well, St. John's, that's what they do. They turn you over.
They do. They average turning the other team over 15.5 per game. Providence still in the zone. Mitchell has it at the top of the key. Comes right for Sellers. Gets off a deep 3. No good. Breaks the backboard, but Darling is there for the rebound. The follow, and no good on the follow, but he gets fouled on the putback. It's called on Oswin.
You know, Oswin picks up a foul on a pump fake by the point guard, Darling, and a missed rebound right there. Friars doing a good job in the zone. They're challenging shots out there, but got to get on the glass.
That's the 7th team foul on the Friars as well. First on Oswin.
That's good. Oswin only has 1 foul with 5:50 to go in the first half. That's a good thing.
That's a victory. Darling to the line to shoot 2 on the shooting foul. And the lefty fires the shot of the foul line and around the rim and no good. On the season, 73%, averaging 5.8 points per game. He was the Big Sky Player of the Year last year, averaging 19.8 points per game for Idaho State.
Oh, yeah, he gets a good rhythm going. I saw him in a couple of games this year where he played pretty well. He makes that first 3-pointer, he gets his confidence going, and he's trying to fit in with this group. But he's solid. He's probably their only true point guard.
Second shot for Darling is on the way, and he gets that one. That's his first point of the game. Push the Red Storm up 4. Friars will inbound against pressure. Mila runs the baseline, gets it to Jameer. Jameer gets away from his man, streaks into the forecourt on the left side. Going to go to the rim, lost the ball, gets kicked around, but it's picked up by Powell, who puts it home.
Good job, Powell being right there to pick up the garbage there and finishes it off with a layup.
He just come back into the game, and Duncan Powell gets a garbage basket to pull Providence within 2. Sellers in the right wing, Ejiofor top of the key, hands off for Sannon. Sannon starts right, slides to the left, backs up in front of the Friar bench. Darling at the top of the key, works toward the left side. Powell picks him up. Sannon on the left wing, feeds the post inside for Ejiofor. A foul on the floor on the post.
Well, Ejiofor had Sellers on the back of him.
Yep.
He just couldn't get around him. I mean, Ejiofor is such a solid post-up player. I mean, he gets space, and his teammates get him the ball.
And he dug out the ball, and Sellers is called for the foul by putting an elbow, looked like in his back. So that's the first foul on Jalen, but it'll be a 1-and-1 here for Zuby Ejiofor on the 18th foul.
Yeah, he's got 12 points. He's 4 for 6 from the floor.
And he misses the free throw, and Jameer Jones gets the rebound. So he's only 1 of 3 from the foul line. Driving, Jameer drives and gets fouled on his way to the hoop.
Well, Jameer's a one-man fast break. He gets that head of steam going on. He's just going to the glass looking to dunk it. He gets in there, gets the foul there, gets himself to the foul line.
Dylan Mitchell called for the reach-in. His second personal foul. That's 8 now on St. John's. And I think they'll give Jameer 2 here anyway on the shooting foul, correct?
Yep. Should get 2.
So Jameer comes into the game averaging 10.1 per game, having an outstanding freshman year. One of the top scoring freshmen in the Big East on the season, 71% from the free throw line. And the free throw for Jameer is good. Providence, Joe, is the #1 free throw shooting team in the Big East Conference at 79.1 from the floor.
Wow.
And here's Bryce Hopkins into the game, and you know the boos are coming from the Friar fans.
You think he's in Providence when he comes in the game doing that.
Second shot is in and out by Jones. Couldn't hit it. And so it's still a 1-point St. John's lead. How about that? The boos outweighing the cheers here at Madison Square Garden for Bryce Hopkins. Left wing, Darling. Osiah Sellers, right elbow, out to Hopkins, who tries to shut everybody up, misses the 3, and it goes off the floor, saved from going out of bounds. Powell dove to the floor in front of the Friar bench, but they're going to say the ball was out of bounds.
I don't know why Vaks went to try to save that. It was a shot by St. John's. I mean, let the ball go out of bounds.
He didn't get the call, so St. John's will get the ball. They said the ball was out of bounds before Powell called for the timeout.
Hopkins missed another 3.
Hopkins is now, what? They have him 1 for 4. I have him 0 for 4. There's the inbound down the floor. Ball was stolen. Powell drives, puts it up, missed the shot, but the rebound tipped by Jameer Jones, and the Friars have taken the lead.
Jameer Jones doesn't give up on that play, chases it down and gets the score.
Wow. Coming back from 13-0 down. Osiah Sellers on the right wing to the top of the key. Stops, 18-footer on the way. Good. First basket for Osiah Sellers, and St. John's back up 1. Jameer has it to the right elbow. Powell lets go of a 3. Off the back iron, no good. Shannon with a rebound.
Well, the game's starting to pick up tempo-wise, that's for sure.
Shannon drives the lane on Powell, lays it up short, no good. Rebound fought for. Powell tries to rip it away from Zuby to the floor, a held ball. And the arrow belongs now the two teams, Ejiofor, Jones, Powell. They're getting into a mix-up over by the Friar bench on the far side. The officials come in and try to break everybody up, but there is some serious physicality going on here as Ejiofor slung himself to the floor trying to rip that ball away from Duncan Powell.
Yeah.
And the Friars are going to get the ball on the alternating possession arrow.
This is a...
They're going to take the under 4 timeout right here with 4:10 on the clock to settle everybody down.
I like it.
Yep, we just turned up the intensity notch a ratchet or 2 here. 26-25, St. John's by 1 from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
You know, you had Powell and Ejiofor going for the loose ball, the rebound. Now Ejiofor's been getting every rebound in there. Powell had part of the ball, and Ejiofor tried to rip it out and fell on the floor and had something to say to Powell. And Powell just walked up to him. Powell said, hey, got right in his face. I mean, Powell's a veteran guy. He's been through this before. He's been hurt all year. This might get Powell going a little bit, get his body on Ejiofor and bang a little bit. Ejiofor's not used to getting pushed around like that because he's been dominating this game, and he ended up on his tail in that one. And I like what I see. The Friars coming out with a little intensity out there. We'll see what happens going forward here. But shooting the ball, Friars 10 for 23, 0 for 4 though from 3, 5 for 8 from the line. St. John's 9 for 30 from the floor, 4 for 17 from 3, but they have 18 rebounds. Friars are caught up with the 16 rebounds. But St. John's, half their rebounds have been offensive rebounds. The Friars doing a good job of hanging in this one, not turning the ball over the last few times. They have 6 turnovers in the ball game. St. John's has 5, so they've evened that out. But the shooting percentage by St. John's has just been atrocious. But they have 4 3-pointers. Ejiofor has 3 and Hopkins has 1. The two guys you don't expect to make threes. The Friars have taken everybody else on the St. John's team and not allowed them to make a 3-point shot.
Well, that's the difference in the game. St. John's, as you said, just 9 for 30 for 30% shooting. But they've taken still 7 more shots from the floor, and they have made 4 of 17 from 3. Only 24%, but the Friars are 0 for 4. And that's why St. John's still has a 1-point lead.
Well, St. John's doing a good job of taking away those 3-point opportunities that the Friars might have. Friars doing a nice job, though, getting to the basket. I mean, if you're going to take away the 3, the Friars are attacking the paint, getting it into the paint. And they're able to get some scores in there. And that's a big Big difference. You know, points in the paint, John. The Friars have 20 of their 25 points in the paint. St. John's just has 6 points in the paint.
Friars with the ball and a chance to take just what be their second lead of the game. They led briefly at 25-24. Stefan Vaks will inbound it. Full court pressure again by St. John's. Hopkins in front of Stefan Vaks right near the Friar bench on the baseline. And they'll inbound it to Edwards. And Edwards will be guarded by Uzziah Sellers. He'll hand off to Jalen Sellers. And then Uzziah will pick up Sellers on Sellers. Mid-forward circle. Friars basket to our left. Looking for the lead in this possession. Finds Powell. Powell drives to the left. Works his way into the post. Bounces out to Edwards on the left wing. Edwards 10 to shoot. Back out front to Sellers. Deep three on the way. Oh, my!
That was a deep, deep three. That was out there 35 feet where he shot that one from.
First tray of the game to the Friars gives them a 2-point lead with 3:38 in the first half. Unbelievable. Ejiofor, top of the key. He's got Duncan Powell on him now. He feeds the post to Hopkins, who goes up against Mila, rolls off the rim, no good. Ejiofor twice on the putback, and he gets fouled from behind. He is relentless. The Friars cannot keep him off the glass.
Well, Powell's complaining. He said he thought he was pushed in the chest both times. Powell's a little frustrated out there with Ejiofor.
Yeah, and the foul is called on Powell. And that's 2 on Duncan Powell with 3:25 to go.
Well, Powell had initially blocked him out, but then he allowed him to get into his back there and push him underneath the basket. Powell's got to stay connected to him. You cannot allow him to keep moving.
And Ejiofor misses another free throw, so he's now 1 for 4 from the foul line.
And 3 for 3 from 3. That makes no sense.
I'd rather have it the other way around, though. I don't know about you, but I think I'd rather have him make the free throws.
Yeah, he can have the free throws.
Yeah, exactly. Second shot, Ejiofor missed it. It's in and out. Sellers with a rebound. Friars with the ball in a 2-point lead. 3:22 to go in the opening half here at Madison Square Garden. Sellers to the right side toward the St. John's bench. Lobs back left for Edwards. Gives it back to Powell, who drives, lays it up, missed it, got fouled.
I think it's 0 on that one.
Yep, that's on Darling.
Darling picked up the foul, came over late. Good pick and roll there. Nice job getting the ball to Powell. Nice to see Powell. I think all the physicality out there has gotten Powell a little edge now. I mean, he's the guy that's a nice guy, and he's been hurt most of the season, but he's starting to get into a little rhythm out here, but he bricks up a free throw.
And he's not wearing the mask for the first time this year, since the first 2 games of the year.
Yeah, I couldn't believe he would wear that long.
Powell is only a 69% foul shooter, misses the first one here. Second one is in and out, missed them both. That can't happen. Not in a tight game. Still a 2-point Friar lead. St. John's with the ball. Shannon brings the dribble around the arc to the right side, hands off Leotopoulos back into the game on the left wing for Sellers. Now for Leotopoulos, he gets away with a travel on the right elbow. Gives the ball back out front to Shannon. High post Ejiofor, back to Shannon. Starts left, cuts to the right at the elbow. Feeds inside Ejiofor, throws up the bunny, scores.
Well, they do a good job of getting the ball at Ejiofor there.
Well, Zuby Ejiofor now has 12 and ties the score up. There's Vaks for 3. In and out, it won't go. Rebound, Mila tips it to Sellers, and it got stolen by Shannon. Shannon leads the break the other way, down the middle of the lane, lays it up, tries to get the jam. Ball goes right to Ejiofor. Who else? And St. John's grabs the lead.
Well, Powell went up and blocked the shot, but nobody kept Ejiofor off the glass, and he was able to get the loose rebound.
So back-to-back baskets and rebounds by Zuby Ejiofor gives his team the lead, and there's Mila with another turnover. And St. John's picks up the ball. What in the wide world of sports is going on? Spin by Hopkins, too strong. Ejiofor to Hopkins, missed it, got fouled.
You know, they're just beating him up on the glass. When Ejiofor's in there, he takes 2 guys to keep him off the glass. Kim English is going to go to Pennick, who hasn't played in
He's going to have to. He has to.
You need a
the Friars
body
have
there.
nobody that can guard Zuby Ejiofor.
I'm surprised Pennick hasn't played more, to be honest with you. He had a really good game against the Florida Bigs. Got to the NCAA tournament finals last year and won it. And he hasn't played a lot since, but he gives a big body out there. He can throw some people around. He might be able to bother Ejiofor in there.
Hopkins at the line. You heard the boos. Hits the free throw. That gives him 4 points. He did make a 3 earlier in the ballgame. Mila, who picks up his second foul, and quite frankly is just in la-la land, comes out of the game. Corey Floyd with 3 fouls comes back in. Second shot by Hopkins is in and out. So it's a 3-point St. John's lead. They've got 5 unanswered here on the Friars. And what was that?
Hopkins fouled.
Oh, Hopkins.
So many team fouls. Two shots for Vaks now. He's going to get on the foul line. Hopkins picked up a dumb foul there in the backcourt trying to get the steal off.
Yeah,
Vaks.
that's the 10th foul. So 2 shots here for Stefan Vaks, who hasn't scored here in the first half. On the season, 77% from the line. And he misses. And the Friars now have missed 3 free throws in a row. Number 1 free throw shooting team in the league. And today, they're 5 of 11.
Yeah.
You want to win close games? You want to win road games? You got to make shots like that. You make the second one.
Maybe that'll help Vaks a little bit, making C1 go through the hole there. But he has really struggled shooting the ball the last 3 or 4 games.
31-29. Friars still down by 2. We're under 2 to play in the half.
Friars in the zone again.
And here's Leotopoulos, gets an open look at 3, buries it. Averages 3 points per game, shoots 27%, and he nails his first 3. Edwards gets in traffic, gets into the lane, leans in, scoops it up underhanded. He doesn't get the foul call. St. John's gets the rebound. Back to Sannon. He'll find Ejiofor. Left side for Hopkins. Hopkins penetrates in on Pinnis. Ball to Ejiofor, puts it up, missed it. Rebound followed, no good, and a foul on Providence.
Friars just can't keep anybody off the boards when Ejiofor's in there. He and Hopkins in there, they're big bodies in there, and they just take up a lot of space. Friars aren't able to get anything done on the missed shots.
Pinnis is called for the foul. That's his first.
Again, we talked about St. John's last year, John. Their best offense is a missed shot. They're getting all over the glass on the offensive side.
And Ejiofor has 2 at the line, and he misses another one.
St. John's has 25 rebounds here in the first half.
Friars have 18. The Friars were down 18-16. So it's a 7-2 edge on the backboards in the last 2 minutes. Even though Ejiofor is just 1 for 6 from the free throw line, he has 10 rebounds. He's got a double-double already here in the first half. 16 points, 10 rebounds for the Big East Player of the Year, preseason Player of the Year, and he hits the second one. 17 points, 10 rebounds, and St. John's is back up by 6. Unbelievable.
Oh, it's a big possession right here. They need to get a score here. St. John's trying to get a little bit of momentum here on the offensive end.
Sadiku Ibin Ayo is back into the game. We're into the game for the first time here for St. John's.
Nice job on the name right there.
Driving right, Jalen Sellers goes inside on Sannon, turns around, gets in the lane, leans in with the left hand, travel. Sannon actually a pretty good defensive position on that one, and Sellers moved his pivot foot as he reached in and tried to draw the foul. And so St. John's with the ball now. The Friars had a 29-26 lead here, and St. John's has scored 9 unanswered. Friars have not had a field goal in the last 2.5 minutes. Sannon, quick left for Leotopoulos. Leotopoulos gets cut off, top of the key for Ibin Ayo. Ayo drives to the right, inside the foul line, back out front again. Jumper up by Sellers is up, no good. Rebound, Ejiofor, followed, no good, and he gets fouled again.
I mean, how is he doing it?
He's going to get 30 rebounds in this game.
Easily. I mean, Powell just has no answer for Ejiofor. He just can't keep him off the glass.
And Duncan Powell just picked up his 3rd personal.
He had position. Powell had position, but then he gives up thinking that Ejiofor is going to stop going for the ball. You have to stay connected to him the whole time. Don't allow him to get it. Let your teammates try to come in and get the rebound.
And Ejiofor's free throw is no good.
Ejiofor has no feel at the foul line right now. He's playing
2 for 8.
He's a Brahma bull on the boards.
Powell comes out with his 3rd foul and 50 seconds to go in the half. And Pinnis has to come right back into the game. 17 points now, 11 rebounds for Zuby Ejiofor, and the second shot is up, and he'll make that one.
See, Pennis's job right now should be just stay on. Oh, Ejiofor is going to come out of the game. Well, that's the best thing that happened to the Friars in the first half. When he was out, they were able to eat into that 13-0 lead and take the lead.
St. John's is on a run here. And Sailors with the ball in the backcourt brings it up against Sannon between the circles. Now he drives to the left, goes right to the rim, scoops it up at the hoop and scores.
Good move by Sellers. He's a tough guy to guard with that left hand. He's got to keep going to that basket.
Stops the St. John's run. Red Storm have it now, just 4 seconds difference between the clocks. Sellers comes off a high screen, top of the key, step back, 18-footer up and in.
Nice move there by Sellers. Drew the defense off and then was able to step back and knock it down.
38-31, 4 for Osiah Sellers. Friars down 7, can take the last shot of the half if they want it.
10 seconds on the clock, get going.
Edwards penetrates, top of the key, reverses to the right, goes up from 16, off the iron, no good. Rebound, St. John's. Here comes the Red Storm with 3, with 2, up the floor, at the buzzer. Sellers, nope. But it'll be a 7-point St. John's lead at halftime after the Friars were down the first 13 points of the game, came back to take a lead, and then it was time for Zuby Ejiofor.
Yeah, Ejiofor just came in. He dominated to get that 13-point lead. And when he came back in the ball game, he dominated again on the glass. What you mentioned already, John, he's double-double in the first half, just getting it done on the backboards.
38-31 is our score. More from Madison Square Garden in a moment. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
This is Dennis Wyatt from Midland Roofing, and this year Midland Roofing celebrates 50 years of protecting Rhode Island homes with trusted high-quality roofing solutions. That's 5 decades of dependable roofing, making Midland Roofing the reliable choice for homeowners across Rhode Island. With our GAF, Master Elite, and President's Club status, we can offer our customers the best warranties in the industry, giving you peace of mind for years to come.
This is head coach Kim English, and our friends here at Midland Roofing are proud to raise the roof for Providence Athletics. When your roof needs a win, call Midland Roofing. They've got you covered.
For comprehensive coverage of college basketball, tune to Sirius XM College Sports Radio Channel 84 in the car and on the Sirius XM app.
For the win! Got it! Let's go!
Sirius XM is the home of your favorite team and conference, including live games, plus interviews and analysis.
He's got it!
So cheer along with the Sirius XM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. Get a free trial at SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 2025.
At Ocean State Credit Union, our community is growing, and so are your possibilities. Whether you're looking for smarter banking, better rates, or guidance you can trust, we're here to help you reach what matters most. And now we're even closer. Visit our newest location in the Providence Financial District and experience banking that puts you first. Ocean State Credit Union. Discover the credit union difference.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the top college athletic programs for the 2025-26 college athletic season? Check out the criteria and follow the year-long standings of your favorite team at L Directors Cup on the X platform or online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2026 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. The Learfield Directors Cup, powered by NACDA, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Friar fans, this is number 11 Ryan Miller. Be sure to check out 110 Grill at 111 Fallon Street in downtown Providence. It is the perfect place to enjoy a nice meal and great drinks before heading over to the amp. Come in and enjoy some awesome apps, oversized sandwiches, and entree favorites like pulled pork, mac and cheese, chicken caprese, steak tips, and my favorite, Thai sesame salmon. 110 Grill is also recognized as one of the most allergy-friendly restaurant brands in the U.S., and the entire menu can be made gluten-free. Visit 110grill.com for more information and go Friars.
Down the floor. Ball was stolen. Powell drives, puts it up, missed the shot, but the rebound tipped by Jameer Jones, and the Friars have taken the lead. Yeah, the Friars came again from 13-0 down to start this ball game. Jameer Jones with a tremendous bit of energy off of the bench, some toughness from Duncan Powell as well, and the Friars found enough of a shooting touch to grab a 28-26 lead over the Red Storm after being down 13-0. But in the last 3 minutes of the half, Joe, 12-3 was the St. John's run to grab a 7-point lead at halftime over Providence.
Yeah, it all comes down to rebounding, John. That's the bottom line in this ball game. You know, you look at St. John's, they're 13 of 40 shooting the ball. 13 of 40. That's
40
horrendous.
shots. 40 shots.
And they only made 13 of them. That's horrendous percentage. But they have almost as many offensive rebounds as the Friars have rebounds. They have 15 offensive rebounds. Friars have 18 as a team total. And that's the difference in the game right now. I mean, if you're shooting 13 for 40, you shouldn't have a 7-point lead. But give Ejiofor the credit. I mean, he's been unbelievable on the boards. He has 9 of those 15 offensive rebounds are his. I mean, he's been all over the glass, just getting it done. 11 rebounds in the first half. And that's the difference in the game, John. They've taken 12 more shots than the Friars because of Ejiofor getting all over the glass.
And Ejiofor has a first half double-double with 18 points and 11 rebounds. It's already his 13th career double-double, his 3rd of this season, and he's playing every bit the part of the preseason player of the year in the Big East Conference.
Hey, and he was 3 for 9 from the foul line. Think about that.
3 for 9.
He was 6 for 9 overall in the first half, 3 for 3 from 3, and he's 3 for 9 from the foul line. I mean, if he shot his average from the foul line, he'd have a ridiculous number here. But, you know, the Friars, give them credit. They were down 13-0. I knew they would come out flat in the game because they just haven't played in 2 weeks. No rhythm offensively. But they took the lead, like you said, John. But, you know, you gotta rebound the basketball. But the thing is, when I watched Powell play against Ejiofor, now Ejiofor outweighs him a little bit, but Powell had position early on in those missed shots by St. John's, but then he goes to go for the ball instead of keeping his body on Ejiofor. You got to keep your body on Ejiofor. He never stops. He's like a ever-ready battery. He's always going. So you got to stay connected with him and make him run you over to go get the ball. You don't need to go for the ball. Just keep him from getting the ball. The Friars will have an opportunity. Somebody else come in there and get the rebound and take off. But if you don't do that to Ejiofor, he's going to get another 9 rebounds in the second half.
And I think that's the key to the second half. You're going to have to find somebody that will sacrifice his body and keep his body on Ejiofor the entire half and not worry about anything else.
Well, you know, you look at St. John's, John, you got Sanu 0 for 3 from 3. You got Sellers 0 for 3 from 3. You got Jackson 0 for 3 from 3. And Darling's 0 for 1. Those guys have been shooting the ball at 45, 44% clip from three-point range on the season, and they haven't made one yet. So you've done a good job taking away from them, so you can't allow Ejiofor to give them second shot opportunities. They're gonna make some shots in the second half.
38-31, St. John to the break. More in a moment from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
At Audi Warwick, Rhode Island's exclusive Audi dealership, discover the all-new, fully redesigned Audi Q5 and A5 family of vehicles where sharp styling, advanced tech, and precision engineering come together for a drive that excites every sense. Or take it further with the Audi S and RS models, built to perform, built to thrill. Over 75 new Audi vehicles are in stock and ready for you to take home today. Experience award-winning service with our complimentary loaner vehicles, on-site roadside assistance, and meet the passionate Audi Warwick team that delivers excellence every time. Proud recipients of the Audi Magno Award for over a decade. Visit Audi Warwick or go to AudiWarwick.com.
In 1925, Modelo began brewing beer for those who believe in better. A model beer, steeped in the tradition of tireless effort. A rich Pilsner-style lager for those who wear their heart and heritage in their rolled-up sleeve. Since our first batch to every bottle raised today, we've proved that it doesn't matter where you come from. It matters what you're made of. Modelo Especial, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Here's what gets impaired when you use alcohol or drugs. Your reaction time, your perception, your cognition, your attention, your balance, your coordination, and more. Which explains why when you use alcohol and drugs together, you are 200 times more likely to cause a crash. Don't mix alcohol and drugs. Don't drive drunk. Don't drive high. And try to stop someone who is. A message from the Rhode Island Department of Transportation.
This is an ad about a self-made teen. Me. See, I go to school, I do my chores, but I also have my own goals. I'm saving what I earn from making radio ads like this one to buy a gaming computer, and I'm using my Embark account to do it. With no fees, mobile banking, and a money management tool, it's like a spend account, but a lot smarter. So if you're a self-made teen like me, I suggest you get one too. The Embark account, banking for the self-made teen. Navigant Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
As an athlete or fan, you need to keep your mind and body in the game. With over 90 board-certified radiologists with broad-based experience and subspecialty training, Rhode Island Medical Imaging will deliver the most accurate diagnosis possible. If you need an X-ray, MRI, CAT scan, or another imaging exam, ask for RIMI. As the first and only outpatient diagnostic imaging center of excellence in Rhode Island, RIMI will provide you with the highest quality of care. To find one of RIMI's 16 state-of-the-art locations nearest you, visit RIMIRAD.com.
This is Dennis Wyatt from Midland Roofing, and this year, Midland Roofing celebrates 50 years of protecting Rhode Island homes with trusted, high-quality roofing solutions. That's 5 decades of dependable roofing, making Midland Roofing the reliable choice for homeowners across Rhode Island. With our GAF, Master Elite, and President's Club status, we can offer our customers the best warranties in the industry, giving you peace of mind for years to come.
This is head coach Kim English, and our friends here at Midland Roofing are proud to raise the roof for Providence Athletics. When your roof needs a win, call Midland Roofing. They've got you covered.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by Providence College. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of Providence College. And Learfield announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by Providence College.
Providence College basketball brought to you in part by Santander Bank, a proud sponsor of Friars basketball from tip-off to final buzzer. John Rooke, Joe Hassett, Madison Square Garden, 38-31. St. John's with the lead over the Friars here at the break. And we take a look at the numbers here, Joe, and you kind of already talked mostly about them, but the fact of the matter is 40 shots taken by St. John's in the half to 28 for the Friars, and they've only made one more than the Friars. They're 5 of 19 from 3. The Friars are just 1 for 6. But the difference is a 28-18 rebound advantage for St. John's overall. Second chance points, 13-8. Seems like it's worse than that. And, of course, the first half double-double for the preseason player of the year in the league, 18-11 for Zuby Ejiofor.
Well, you know, we talk about the Friar defense all year and how they need to step up, and they changed a few things in this ball game, John. They played the most zone I've seen them play all year in that first half. They were changing up the man-to-man, the zone defense, and I think they did a pretty good job defensively. When you hold St. John's to 13 for 40 from the floor,
I think you're playing well enough on defense.
Yeah, 5 for 19 from 3. I mean, the Friars did a good job on the defensive end. What killed them was the offensive rebounds by St. John's. They sound like a broken record, but you can't keep getting them opportunities on the glass. The Friars were able to climb back into the ball game. When they were down 13-0 and Rick Pitino put Ejiofor on the bench for a break, that's when the Friars came back because St. John's had one and done. Yeah. Friars got down the floor and got some easy hoops. So you got to do that in the second half. Again, I think the most important part is you got to keep Ejiofor off the glass in the second half and make sure you stay on the shooters because these St. John's team, those guys can shoot the ball from the outside. You got to make sure you do a good job like you did in the first half and taking away that 3.
Got to figure out a way to hit the foul shots, too. Number 1 free throw shooting team in the league was only 6 of 12 from the line in the first half, that being the Friars, and St. John's was only 7 of 15. So somebody who gets hot at the line is probably going to run away with this thing at the end. Friars down 7 at the break. The second half is coming up next from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
Coach English here to talk injuries. Ortho Rhode Island Express offers immediate injury care for sprains, breaks, tears, and more by orthopedic specialists you won't find at an urgent care or walk-in clinic. Call 401-777-7000. Option 1 for a same or next day appointment, including evenings and Saturdays. And learn more at orthopedicsri.com/express. Ortho Rhode Island Express. Injuries don't wait. Neither should you.
While we can't predict what the future holds, we can help ensure our investment recommendations remain in line with your goals, priorities, and preferences over time. We are here for you every step of the way and are dedicated to helping you prepare for what's ahead and ensuring you stay on track with your financial goals. To learn more, stop by our offices located in Providence and South Kingstown or visit JannyProvidence.com. Janney Montgomery Scott, LLC. Member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC.
Everyone's so busy keeping up. Forget about the Joneses. We all on our telephones with the texts and the tweets and the beats. What he said, she said, can't even follow the thread. Down the hole, we all go. Me, I like keeping up too, with my Corona and my attitude. That's La Vida Mas Fina.
Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
Aw, shucks. The game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
Dave's Marketplace is a proud sponsor of Providence College Athletics. Dave's is a locally owned and operated company with 10 locations serving Rhode Island families. Dave's has won many awards for its prepared foods and pizza departments, so when you don't have time to cook, they can satisfy your family's needs. When you do have time to cook, Dave's offers the highest quality produce, seafood, meats, deli, bakery, and a large variety of grocery and specialty foods. A smile and a free cup of coffee with every visit.
John and Joe back at Madison Square Garden for the second half of the St. John's Red Storm at 9-4 on the season, 25th in the coaches poll this week. Lead Providence 38-31 at the break. Friars are actually 0-4 when they trail at halftime of games this year, and they're also 1-5 when they get out rebounded. Two trends they've got to figure out a way to reverse here pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think the one with Ejiofor, keep talking about him, but I think Powell was connected to him on a lot of those missed shots, but then Powell goes for the rebound, John, and allows Ejiofor to get in there and get the rebound. If you stay on him, you got to keep your body on him, keep him away from the glass, and let another teammate come in and snatch the defensive rebound and not allow him to get it. You have to make sure you have a body on him and not allow him to get to the ball.
The original starting fives on the floor for both teams to start the second half. That's Edwards, Floyd with 3 fouls, Sellers, Arunse, and Jones. You've got Ejiofor, Hopkins, Jackson, Sannon, and Oziah Sellers for St. John's.
It's important for the Friars, John, not to fall asleep on Sanoon, Sellers, and Jackson here in the second half. They're 0 for 9 combined from three-point range. These guys are good shooters normally. They're in the 40% range, so you got to make sure you stay connected to them. Did a good job on them in the first half.
St. John's has the ball to start the second half. Their basket to our left on the radio. Man-to-man for the Friars. Ball gets poked to the left side by Jason Edwards, comes out of bounds. And Red Storm will keep it with 22 to shoot. Yeah, you don't want to give up a 13-0 run to start this half like you did the last one. Otherwise, you're dead and buried in this one. Sannon inbounds to the backcourt to Ian Jackson, the North Carolina transfer. Jackson gets a screen, rolls to the right, gives it back to Ejiofor, spins in the post, kicks it back out. Jackson a wide open 3, no good. And the rebound tipped. And again, Corey Floyd, right to Corey Floyd, and he fumbles it out of bounds. What is the deal with the hands here?
And Corey's having a tough game. I mean, he's just making errors that you normally don't see him do.
But between him and Ryan Mila, they just can't handle the ball. Inbounds come to the baseline, and here's a free possession. Oziah Sellers drives to the lane, gets the ball back out to Ejiofor on the left sideline. A handoff there. Jackson for 3. That's an air ball, and it's chased down in the corner by Sellers.
Oh, my goodness.
And he almost throws it away. Jones saves it to Floyd. Friars basket to our right here on the radio in half number 2, down 7. Sellers has it left, drives on Oziah Sellers, pulls up with a 12-footer, bang.
Good job there by Sellers. I mean, Sellers is doing a nice job offensively.
He leads the Friars with 11 points this afternoon, and it's 38-33. Sannon has it on the left wing. Hands off to Oziah. Now top of the key for Ejiofor. Ejiofor looks for the back door. Not there. He turns around. He fires a 3. He missed one. His first miss of the day, and the Friars get the rebound.
Might be coming back to reality a little bit from beyond the arc.
Here comes Edwards looking to penetrate. Drives into the lane. There's a foul called on Ian Jackson as he got tangled with Edwards as he spun at the St. John's free throw line.
Edwards is a tough guy to guard. He has that little burst of speed where he drives off the defender and try to put a body on Edwards that time, and Jackson picks up the foul.
That's the third person on Ian Jackson. He comes right out of the game, and they'll bring Leotopoulos, Lefteris Leotopoulos, right back into the game. We had a big 3 in the first half for the Red Storm coming off of the bench.
Now, if the Friars can put some pressure defense on this St. John's team now, they don't have a point guard. This is a good time to maybe create some turnovers on them.
Floyd looks for the inbounds, goes into the backcourt to Edwards, and he'll bring it up against Leotopoulos.
This is a good matchup for Providence.
Drives to the right, foul line, hands back off to Sellers. Sandin on top of Sellers. High post touches. Oswin back to Sellers, gives it back to Oswin. Drives, puts it up, short, missed it. Rebound, follow. Jameer Jones
And he's fouled.
and one.
Good job there. Pick and roll to get over to Oswin. He's in traffic right there. Gets it up off the glass. Wasn't able to score. Hopkins on him. But there comes Jones in there to finish it off on the miss.
Oziah Sellers picks up his second personal foul.
Jameer Jones is always around the action, that kid. He's always involved.
And now at the foul line, the free throw is good for Jameer. He has 8 points in the game, and the Friars are back within a deuce. And we're 90 seconds deep into the second half. Hopkins hands off Leotopoulos. High post Ejiofor gives it back to Sandin. Starts right, goes left, fires a three. Got it.
Well, he was 0 for 3 in that first half, and you know he's going to start looking for it.
That's his first basket of the game for the Fall River native. And it puts St. John's back up by 5. Friars left him alone. He finally drilled one. Here's Edwards into the forecourt with it against Leotopoulos. St. John's man-to-man defense. High screen set by Oswin. Starts left, cuts back to the right, now goes back to the left. He finds Sellers, right of the key for 3. Off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound, Sandin had it, and then goes out of bounds with it. Wanted a foul, did not get the call. The Friars will get the ball.
He should have. I mean, that was a foul on Corey Floyd.
It was.
He threw him out of bounds.
It was.
But there's a lot of activity out there trying to box out. So if they're going to let that go, that's probably in St. John's favor, to be honest.
Inbounds Jameer, lobs it out front to Corey at the top of the key. Floyd jab steps on Leotopoulos, pulls it out on the perimeter. Waits for the high screen. St. John's fights through that. Corey drives to the right, gives it out to Jason, scoots to the left, fires the 3. Nope, it's no good. Rebound follow, no good, and a foul called on St. John's on the offensive glass.
Who's that on? Boxing out.
Somebody was boxing out.
Hopkins.
Bryce Hopkins gets called for the foul. That's his second, team's third.
There's Jones there trying to get to the glass. I mean, he's doing a good job of getting on that offensive glass.
So the Friars will inbound it again from the baseline. Floyd in the corner for Edwards. Doesn't get a shot off. He'll penetrate on Leotopoulos. In the lane, leans in, goes up, got the shot blocked, and no foul call. Leotopoulos with the ball right down the lane. Scoops it up, no good. Gets a foul called on a block.
Leotopoulos was out of control on that play.
And the official bid for it. I mean, he's completely out of control, and the official will call the foul on Jameer Jones.
Jones might have been in the circle there. That's what happened there, probably.
First foul of the Friars here in the half. Second personal on Jameer.
Leotopoulos is out there throwing his body all around. He saw the opening, just kept going to the basket there. Friars weren't able to get back in time.
So Lefteris Leotopoulos to the foul line. He's 82%, 81% on the season, averaging just over 3 points and a rebound per game in a reserve role for St. John's. And his first shot here is no good, off the iron.
Well, St. John's is under 50% now from the foul line.
They are 7 of 15 from the foul, 7 of 16 now from the foul line. And Stephon Vaks comes in for the first time here in the second half for the Friars. And Leotopoulos, second shot, got it. Puts St. John's back up by 6 at 42-36. Oswin inbounds the ball. And he'll find Corey, who'll bring it up against Leotopoulos left to right. Goes right past him, blows by him down the left side of the lane, gets cut off. High post. Oswin hands back off to Corey, cuts to the left, gets down to the post, turns around. He'll find Vaks, who gets off the 3. Yes!
Good pass there. Good spot up by Vaks, too, as he got to the open area there. And they find Corey Floyd finds him.
First field goal of the game for Stephon Vaks. The ball gets tipped out of bounds. St. John's couldn't handle it. It's a turnover right into the Red Storm bench. So Vaks gets his first field goal of the game, and then the Friars get a St. John's turnover. Leotopoulos comes back out. They're going to bring Sandin back in for St. John's, and the Friars with the ball and could tie on this possession. We're just under 17 minutes to play in the second half at Madison Square Garden. Floyd has it on the perimeter. Drives to the right, goes right to the rim, lays it up off the rim. It won't go.
He had an alley-oop dunk there for Oswin if he's just passing the ball. See, not being a true point guard, you don't see that.
Darling has it. Throws it right side for Sandin. Feeds the post for Ejiofor. Ejiofor has Oswald playing behind him, muscles his way in, goes up and under, missed the shot, foul call.
Well, he creates all the contact, Ejiofor. You got to stay low on him and just keep your hands straight up. He's always creating the contact, leaning his shoulder in. Looked like he fouled on that play, but he gets himself to the foul line.
So Jameer gets called for the foul for the help defense rather than the primary defense on Oswald and Rooke. And that's 3 fouls on Jameer. That is 2 on the Friars here in the half. And Zuby to the foul line, only 3 for 9 in the first half of this ball game.
Well, they'll probably change that up this second. I mean, you can't keep shooting that poorly.
And he hits the first one. He is on the season 73% from the free throw line.
He's got 9 offensive rebounds. That's tied for the most in 15 years by a St. John's player.
Second shot for Ejiofor as he sets the ball belt high. Now he lets it go, and he gets it.
Yeah, Friars scored a break, him missing all those free throws in the first half. I don't think you'll see that much in the second half here.
Mila back into the game, replacing Jameer, who just picked up his 3rd personal. 44-39, Red Storm, 16:35 to go.
Jameer's playing good basketball, too. You'd like to see him on the floor. Too bad he's got that 3rd foul.
Full court pressure by St. John's. Sellers double team. Dribbles through the double team. Goes by 3. Underneath Oswald, who comes down with it. And he gets muscled by Ejiofor. He's all over him and no foul call. My goodness. Mila comes to save him at the foul line. Left elbow. Turns to the inside. He's stuck. Now he gives it back to Sellers. Sellers penetrates left. Spins in the line. Up fakes inside on Sellers, goes up off the rim, no good, and there's Zuby with a rebound.
Well, I mean, Zuby,
he gets away with everything
pushing
inside.
Everybody all over the place.
Oh, he just muscled him right out of bounds. There's a high-low pass intercepted by Vaks under the basket. Zuby messed up on that one. Now Vaks works the ball into the forecourt, almost an over and back violation. The Friars hold on to the possession. Vaks uses a high screen, cuts to the right, kicks it back left for Mila out on the wing. He goes down low to Oswald, and there's a foul on the floor.
About time they call something. I mean, Oswald, St. John switches everything, John, so you're going to get a mismatch with the guard on Oswald. That's when you got to throw the ball inside to the big guy.
Foul is called on Osiah Sellers, who picks up his 3rd. They got a timeout, 15:49 to play. Friars down 5, and with the ball from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
Zuby Ejiofor is a menace out there. I mean, he's just all over the place. When he's not rebounding, he's throwing bodies all over the place. He's just getting it done. He's got 20 points in the ball game. He's 6 for 10 from the floor. He's 3 for 4 from three-point range. 5 for 11 from the foul line. He has 12 rebounds. But the only negative for Zuby in this game, he's 4 turnovers in the ball game out of the 7 that St. John's has. Overall stats for the Friars: 15 for 37, 2 for 9 from 3. St. John's 14 for 44, 6 for 23 from three-point range. Both teams shooting the ball very poorly from the foul line. Friars 7 for 19. St. John's 10 for 19 from the free throw line. That's just awful. And Zuby just made 2 in a row to get that even better from there. But you look at the turnover side of things, Friars doing a decent job taking care of the ball. Just 8 turnovers so far against this good St. John's press. And St. John's has
Friars
7 turnovers.
6 of those turnovers, Joe, in the first 6 minutes of the game.
Right, so they've done a good job of taking care of the ball. Second half, Friars are 3 for 9 from the floor, 1 for 3 from 3. St. John's is just 1 for 4 in the second half.
So they've taken 5 more shots.
And they're all 3-pointers.
The Friars have taken 5 more shots from the floor. So that's definitely reversed one trend from the first half.
Exactly, but you got to stop making them. Just 3 for 9 here in the second half. But hanging in there. The game's physical. And Zuby Ejiofor is getting the star treatment out there. Well deserved though, but last couple of possessions, you've been throwing people all over the place and hadn't picked up a foul.
Well, the Friars have the ball, trailing 44-39, 15:49 to go. Stevan Vaks will inbound it from the baseline left. The basket finds Sellers in front of his bench. Back out front now for Ryan Mila. Mila comes off a screen around the arc to the right side, rolls down low into the post, kicks the ball back out to Vaks. Vaks is standing right on top of him, and there's a foul called, and it's on Josan Sanin.
You see, again, if I'm, you Coach Ingles over there, they switch everything, and Oswald's ending up with a guard on him a lot of times because Ejiofor will leave him in a switch on the screen, and you got to get that ball into Oswald, and he's got to make sure he gets some position where he gets the ball in the pass.
Edwards back into the game for the Friars. That's 5 team fouls on St. John's in the first 4.5 minutes. Jalen Sellers comes off a high screen, goes to the left, drives the lane, lays it up with a finger roll and a score.
He's a tough guard, man. You have a tough time guarding him. When he gets to that strong hand, left hand, he usually scores.
He's got 13 to lead the Friars back within 3. Shannon has it on the left wing. Up high now with the ball is Dylan Mitchell, who's just checked in for St. John's. Hands off for Dylan Darling, who's also in there. Now for Zuby in the post. He backs his way down, kicks it out. Darling left wing. Out front, Leontopoulos fakes, drives, goes up. Rejected by the Friars. It's out of bounds. It'll be St. John's ball.
Good job there defensively. Leontopoulos came out of the game. The riot act by Rick Pitino by putting right back in there. 6 seconds now. I need a good stop here.
6 on the shot clock, as you said. They'll inbound to the left of the basket on the baseline. Darling looks for the inbounds. He finds Shannon. Now for Zuby. Zuby gets caught in no man's land, drives, throws it up at the buzzer, won't go, and he gets a foul. Are you serious?
Well, Oswin pushed him on that.
Come on.
See, that's just a play where Oswin, I know Ejiofor has made 3 for 3 from three-point range. He missed 3 for 4. He missed one here in the second half, but as the shot clock's winding down right there.
You got to be smarter than that.
Well, yeah, you got to just put your hand up and don't make him make the outside shot. Don't push him on that.
And so Oswin's second personal foul will put Zuby Ejiofor right back at the free throw line where he's 5 for 11 for the ball game. But he hit his last 2. And the shot here is good.
Yeah, he's not going to miss any more. Friars scored a break by him missing them all in the first half, but you play good defense right there, and then you get this guy on the foul line.
Here comes Pateras Pennis into the game, replacing Oswin, who just is getting schooled by the preseason player of the year. Second shot, Zuby on the way, and it's good. I think you're right. He ain't missing anymore. 46-41 St. John, 14:58 to go. And you just want to hang around, man. Just hang around. But take advantage of the breaks when you get them. Mila runs the baseline, finally gets into bounds, and it's stolen by Leontopoulos. Darling now gets it back to Mitchell in the paint. Mitchell works on Mila, who couldn't make that inbounds pass. Out, Leontopoulos missed the shot. Rebound, Zuby, of course, over Pateras Pennis. Kicks the ball to Shannon on the left wing, goes right back to Zuby in the post. Zuby works around Pennis, missed the stuff, but gets fouled anyway.
My goodness gracious.
It's like playing 1 against 5, and the 1 is winning.
He's the big difference in this one. No question about it.
Second foul on Pennis. I don't know how you can potentially play man-to-man anymore with the way he's killing you like that. You can't do it.
Friars just really don't have anybody to match up with him. And
that's why.
It's a tough matchup no matter who St. John's plays. Ejiofor is just a pain. He's physical and he uses his body very well. And he's not going to miss any more free throws.
Yeah, he's hit 5 of 5 from the foul line in the first 4.5 minutes of the second half. Here comes Duncan Powell in for Pennis, who's not ready for that challenge. Mila is also out of the game. Vaks is right back in. Man, alive. You got to think of something else, but you can't allow this guy to just, like I said, go 1 on 5 and beat the 5. But that's what he's doing right now. Second shot. Good.
And you can't double them because they have good shooters on the outside. The Friars have taken away the 3. But
you got to play zone, Joe. Inbounds comes to Sellers. St. John's back to their halftime margin of 7. Sellers drives on Darling, finds Vaks, who goes right to the rim, lays it up, high off the glass. It's in and out. How did that not go down? St. John's grabs the rebound. Mitchell up the floor for Shannon. Drives, crosses over, lays it up, missed the shot. Rebound, Shannon goes back up, blocked out of there. But against St. John with the ball to Leontopoulos, and he buries the 3. Of course he does.
Well, Ejiofor again wasn't able to get that rebound, but he was able to keep it alive on the glass.
And St. John's goes back up double digits by 10. Friars had this down to a 1-possession game. 7-0 run for St. John's.
Again, St. John's best offense is a missed shot. Just get that offensive rebound.
Jason Edwards works it into the forecourt here. Now drives to the right corner for Sellers. Won't take the 3. Kicks the ball back out. Powell thought about the 3. Gives it back to Sellers, out of bounds. My goodness gracious. You can't even make a basic play.
Yeah, that was a tough turnover right there. Friars looked like they would get something going there, and I like the matchup. Timeout with Sellers, guarding Sellers. He can't guard him. If you isolate him, you get him to score.
That is the 10th turnover of the game. Second of the last 2 minutes for the Friars.
Hargrove is checking in for the first time. Let's try him on
Ejiofor. They might as well.
Hargrove has a way of picking up fouls. The Friars you asked for the zone, John. It looks like they've gone.
They're going to the zone. Looks like a 2-3. Right side with it, Leotopoulos. Penetrates to the right elbow, lobs it down low, and holds it too high, and Hargrove picks it off. Hello. A little change work there. Here's Powell with the ball into the forecourt. Going to penetrate, gives it to Sellers on the right baseline.
Got to get better spacing.
Sellers muscles away, and Leotopoulos elevates, jumper up, in and out. Mitchell with a rebound.
That's a good shot there by Sellers.
Mitchell going to drive right down the floor, lay it up, won't get it. Rebound off the backboard, loose. Vaks has it. He got fouled by Sannon.
See, aggressive St. John's is all over that offensive glass. Again, they go for a missed shot like somebody stole it from them. They go after everything. Every guy's out there, but good job by Vaks that time going for the loose ball.
That's 6 fouls on St. John's here in the half with 13:09 to go. Powell's going to come out of the game, and the Friars will bring, who did they bring back in?
Edwards.
Edwards, thank you. Edwards breaks to
Give
the
it
ball.
to him.
And Edwards has it in front of the St. John's bench.
You know, against this press, the first guy that breaks over, give him the ball. Don't wait for somebody else to get open.
Friars got to find an offensive spark now. They have not scored in 2.5 minutes. Here's Edwards to the lane. Jumper up, in and out. Rebound tip. Hargrove got the offensive rebound and then loses the ball, picks it back up. He feeds Edwards on the top of the key. Goes left, reversal to Corey, who drives the baseline. Comes all the way through. Out front to Sellers. Out to Edwards for 3. Got it.
Good ball movement right there. How about that? A little offensive rebound in action by Hargrove. We got the ball. Second shot opportunity. Edwards makes the 3.
Edwards now has 12 in the game, and it's 51-44. That is a big basket, badly needed.
There's a matchup zone right now by the Friars again.
Darling, right side. Leotopoulos drives inside underneath Ejiofor. Corey swats at the ball. Thought he got all ball, but Corey's also going to pick up a foul on Ejiofor.
See, Ejiofor is so tough in there. We've said it the whole ball game, but he never stops moving. He doesn't stand around waiting for the ball to come to him. He moves to a spot where their teammate can find him with the ball, and he gets to that open area underneath the basket. And once he catches it there, forget it. He's going to foul him or he's going to score both.
Floyd's got to come out of the game. That's his 4th personal foul. And St. John's is going to inbound the ball. That was a non-shooting foul for Ejiofor. St. John's will inbound it. They get a fresh 20 on the shot clock, 12:20 to play. They got a 7-point lead. Inbounds lob comes to Ejiofor on the left wing. He's got Hargrove guarding him. He's going to work into the lane. The ball gets knocked away and out of bounds. It's off of St. John's.
Good job anticipating on that play by Jones, John. He came along the baseline, was able to knock that one out of bounds.
A little help from St. John's on that one. And Hargrove goes right back out, comes in and gives him some good minutes, but here comes Oswin back into the game.
Gave him a good minute.
That's about it.
But he got a good offensive rebound, so we haven't seen a lot of.
He had 2 stops, and there's the inbounds lob. It's taken by Jameer. Jameer bobbles it, drives it, dishes off inside. Ball got fouled. He tried to get it over to Oswin, and the foul inside called on St. John's under the basket.
Ejiofor picks up the foul, I think.
It is.
And he's complaining about the foul. I'm watching the replay here. Look at Ejiofor. I mean, he just crushes Oswin to the floor, and he didn't want a foul call.
So Oswin's going to go to the line to shoot 2. It's Ejiofor's 2nd foul. Friars are in the bonus, by the way, with 12:10 to play. That's the 7th team foul as Oswin hits the first free throw. That's his 3rd point of the game.
They got to get him the ball more, especially when St. John's switches everything, John. That's their MO. I mean, coming in, you say, okay, when Oswin sets the screen and goes to the basket, he's going to have a guard on him half the ball game. Throw the ball in there to him. Throw it at the rim where he can go get it.
Oswin hits 2 free throws. 51-46. We're coming up on 12 minutes to play. Ian Jackson has returned for St. John's. Has the dribble right side for Osiah Sellers.
Jones just picks up a foul.
Oh, Jameer, what are you doing?
Well, I mean, Brian O'Connell, I mean, you kidding me? I mean, they're out there playing
Brian.
like rugby out there, and you're calling an off-ball foul on a post-up. He's not even involved in the play.
And that is 4 on Jameer.
This is a terrible call by O'Connell, but we're used to that with him.
There's always one. And we get an official timeout. 12 minutes to play. 51-46 Red Storm from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
Well, second half stats here. Friars 5 for 14 from the floor, 36%, 2 of 4 from three-point range. And you look at St. John's, it's just 2 for 10 in the second half, 2 for 6 from three-point range, but they still have the lead in the ball game. I mean, St. John's is just 15 for 50 overall in the ballgame, John. 15 for 50.
And 8 more attempts than the Friars.
And they have a 5-point lead. I mean, the Friars are 17 for 42, but 15 for 50. I mean, you shouldn't have a lead in the ballgame, and that's because Ejiofor has just been a beast out there all over the glass. They have 20 offensive rebounds in the ballgame. The Friars have a total of 25 rebounds. So
20 offensive rebounds, 20 second chance points.
Yeah.
That's the lead on the scoreboard right now, by the way, second chance points.
Yeah. It's amazing. Ejiofor has Friars are 9 for 15 from the foul line. Ejiofor himself is 9 for 15 from the foul line. So, I mean, a lot of crazy stats in this one, but the Friars are right in the ballgame. They're hanging around. They're down by 5 on the road here. They're doing a good job defensively. They've done a good job taking away the three-point shot from St. John's, who's been blistering. In Big East play, St. John's coming into this ballgame was shooting 51% from 3. They're 7 for 25 in this ballgame from three-point range. So the Friars done a good job of challenging those shots. The only guy they haven't done a good job on is Ejiofor, and that's a tough job to do, to play that guy. I mean, the Friars have tried 3 or 4 different people on him and haven't been able to keep him under control. If they can keep him off the glass, and that's what they're going to have to do to have a chance in this one.
Of course, Ejiofor hit the game winner at the AMP last year to beat the Friars, and then the Friars, of course, lost in the final seconds here in the Garden, Florida St. John's last year as well. So they've taken the last 2 of the series, and we're setting ourselves up for another pretty good finish here on this one. Red Storm will inbound the basketball with an even 12 minutes on the clock and a 5-point lead. Josiah Sellers finds Josan Sannon, who finds Ejiofor. He fakes the jumper. He's going to drive on Osmond, goes right up and scores.
Just because he made the outside shot, you cannot go for the pump fake. He wants to get to the basket. That's what he wants to do.
26 for Ejiofor. He's 1 shy of his season high. And we still got 11 and a half to play. Put St. John's back up by 7. Jalen Sellers will bring it left to right into the forecourt here for Providence. Picked up by Ian Jackson, works to the left wing. Ball gets knocked away. Ejiofor has a steal, goes to the floor, but it's taken back by Sellers. Sellers jump pass, finds Vaks, quick pass left. Powell, wide open 3, nope. And Mitchell with a rebound for St. John's.
Again, Ejiofor was out. Oh.
And Mitchell drives, goes up short, missed the shot. He wanted to go for the dunk. Friars got in the way and fouled him.
Well, you got to pick him up earlier than that. He went the length of the court. Nobody picked him up until he was going up for a layup.
Vaks is called for the foul.
But again, Ejiofor's out there, almost stole the pass well above the three-point line. Now, who is he guarding? He's guarding Oswin. You got to look inside to Oswin in those situations. You got to guard on him. They never find Oswin when Ejiofor switches out on the perimeter. You got to make him pay when the big guy leaves him.
Dylan Mitchell at the foul line, bounces the first one and stays. He's only 54% from the line on the season, averaging 9.2 points per game for the Cincinnati and Texas transfer. Hargrove comes back in. He's going to replace Oswin. Corey Floyd is also back in with 4 fouls. 11:14 to go. Mitchell's second free throw is on the way and good. He's got 4 in the ball game, and St. John's now inches back out by 9 at 55-46. Friars need to find an offensive answer here. They've only scored 2 points in the last 5 minutes.
The St. John's defense has gotten much better out there.
Here's Corey with it out front, finds Jason Edwards, starts to the right, stops. Now lobs it high post for Hargrove, gives it back to Jason. Turns around, fires the 3. Nope, it's in and out. Rebound, Hargrove got it, got knocked to the floor. Who's the foul on? Mitchell.
Mitchell. Again, Hargrove getting on the offensive glass since he's been in the ballgame. He has 2 offensive rebounds, only played like a minute and a half.
That's what you want. That's what you want. He's doing the job that he's obviously being asked of him. And that's going to put Hargrove at the line shooting a 1-and-1.
Hargrove's been a good foul shooter all year, too. He's knocked down a couple here.
So Hargrove, 2.2 points per game, 3.8 rebounds in a reserve role. Free throw is good. He's 84% from the line on the season for the transfer from Drexel. And he's given the Friars a couple of valuable minutes here in this second half after not playing in the first half of this one.
He is. He's on the glass. He matches up physically pretty well with Ejiofor.
And he hits both free throws. Cole Hargrove, an unsung hero right now, 55-48. St. John's will bring it right to left into the forecourt.
Little zone again.
Zone defense switch again. Sannon Circles out front. Jackson pushes back right for Sellers. Sellers starts right, goes left, stops top of the key. On the wing for Mitchell. Scoop to the hoop. Around the rim. No. Rebound tipped out, and there's Mitchell with the rebound. Ball gets knocked off in the air. Ball gets loose, and it's Hargrove who comes up with it. He hands off to Edwards, who streaks into the forecourt. Down the right side of the lane. Scoops it up to the rim. In and out. Rebound tip. No good, and St. John's controls it.
Boy, Edwards has missed 3 layups in this game. Good moves, too. Just haven't been able to finish.
You'd have the lead if you could knock down layups. Shannon, right side, comes off the screen. Ejiofor on the high post. Hands off to Jackson. Off the screen for 3. High rebound, no.
Push.
Rebound, Corey. Up the floor for Edwards. Edwards challenges Jackson, gets knocked to the floor, goes out of it. No!
Oh.
No foul called! How does that happen?
Oh, boy.
They call him out of bounds with the ball and a turnover.
Well, it looks like Edwards lost control of himself on that one. I didn't think the defense, I saw the replay on that. The defense looked pretty good.
I thought for sure he would have had gotten a bump to stumble like that.
Edwards should have just pulled up right there and knocked one off the glass. Yeah. He's good at that
St. John's will get it on the 11th Friar turnover of the ball game. Providence stays in the zone. Jackson has it left, pushes right for Sellers, out on the perimeter. Sellers, top of the key. Hopkins drives left, scoops it up, got it blocked. Ball batted around, stolen by Corey. Floyd up the middle of the floor, right down the hoop, gets knocked to the floor, and finally a foul gets called.
You got to do, Corey. Just keep attacking the glass. You get the good defense down the other end. Corey Floyd was able to get down the floor and push it to the basket.
The fans don't like the call. Shannon was the one that reached in and got him. And Josan Shannon picks up his 3rd personal.
Well, if they didn't call a foul on that one, I think there'll be a few Friar fans unhappy in here.
So Floyd to the line for 2. Corey had 4 points in the first half. And he hits the first one here with another one coming. On the season, he's at 74%. Friars have got to hit the free throws, and he hits both here. And it pulls the Friars back within 5 at 55-50. 9:34 left to play. They'll stay in the zone. Shannon has it, starts right, goes left. Sellers back left for Jackson. Left at the top of the key. Jackson throws it right for Shannon, well out of the perimeter. Gets to the top of the key. Bounce past Ejiofor at the foul line. Underneath for Hopkins. Around the rim it goes in, and he gets fouled.
Well, Powell was late to get to him. That's the only way Hopkins can score as a layup. And he was late getting there. Powell, Ejiofor had the ball at the foul line, and Powell just got there too late.
That's just the 2nd field goal of the game for Bryce Hopkins. He has 6 points, and the foul is called on Hargrove.
Hargrove picks up the foul. He was in the zone right there. He took Ejiofor out of it. Ejiofor makes a nice bounce pass into Hopkins, and he was able to finish that one off with it and get the foul.
So Hopkins at the foul line on the season, 74%, misses. It's 57-50. Here comes Floyd with the ball into the forecourt, works to the left, and then it's a rip away there. They're going to call a held ball, and the arrow belongs to Providence. Ejiofor got up close and just took it away, muscled it away from Floyd, but they're going to call a tie ball. Providence keeps it.
Well, Ejiofor is just a menace. He's everywhere. You know, he switches everything. Yep. So if you're Providence, you got to know when he switches, the big guy's going to the basket, you got to get him the ball.
He looks like the player of the year to me, Joe.
Well, in this ball game, he is.
Top of the key with it is Sellers off the inbound. Sellers tries to face off Jackson, and Jackson got up too tight and got called for a foul.
That was a good move by Sellers. He drew that foul. I mean, St. John's is in your hands in the grill all the time trying to strip the ball away, and Sellers felt it and reached in on him, and Sellers initiated the contact on Jackson. Jackson picks up the foul.
And Jackson picks up his 4th personal foul, and that is already 10 team fouls on St. John's. With 9:01 to play, the Friars go into the double bonus. And Sellers hits the free throw. That could be huge at the end. Powell comes back in. Jameer Jones, who was in briefly, goes right back out again.
This might be the longest game in the Big East this year.
Because of the fouls and the free throws.
Yeah, I mean, it's already a 2-hour game, and we got 9 minutes to go in the ball game, so the tempo of this one is slowed down.
Sellers hits them both. It's a 5-point game again. St. John's with the ball. 57-52. We're under 9 to play. Ejiofor, high post. Hands off to Shannon. Cuts to the right. Leans in. There's Ejiofor. He up fakes. Around the rim. No. And again a foul.
goodness gracious. Every time the ball goes in the paint, somebody is blowing a whistle when Zuby gets the ball. That didn't look like much of a foul, but Hargrove was called for it.
Good pump fake. He got him up in the air and hit him on the way down.
So that is 2 on Hargrove. And that's 9 team fouls on the Friars. So Zuby has 2 free throws here.
It's going to be a free throw contest.
And the first one is in and out.
That's the first one he missed in the second half.
That makes Zuby now 9 for 16 for the ball game from the line.
16 free throws.
Friars
still have 8.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, Friars as a team are 15 to 21. Second shot for Zuby. Nope, off the back iron. Bounces twice, comes out. Hopkins had the rebound, out of bounds, off of Providence.
Again, not boxing out. Hopkins snuck in there that time, was able to almost get that rebound, but he keeps the possession for his team.
It's just amazing. It's just amazing. It defies description almost. St. John's inbounds the ball, coming off the screen. Sellers with a jumper, no good. Finally, the Friars get a rebound. Sellers spins out of trouble, streaks into the forecourt up the left sideline. He stops at the left elbow. Now he retreats, goes back inside, scoops it up, got it blocked by Ejiofor. And Shannon comes down with the ball, leads the break the other way, stops, goes inside. Of course, he finds Zuby. Tries to up fake with the right hand, short, gets his own rebound, goes back up again, and he gets fouled again.
I mean, he's just a menace. He just never stops. Takes the ball up strong. He goes after it.
Where was the foul? I'm looking at it here. I
thought he initiated the contact on Hargrove on that one with an elbow to the face. Hargrove should have fell on the floor and have them review that like he took an elbow in the face.
Third foul on Hargrove, and Zuby's going to go to the line and shoot 2 more. He is a man playing against babies right now.
Well, he's got 26 points in the ball game. The rest of the team combined has 31.
And his first shot here is good. Jameer Jones back into the game. I wonder why he's been on the bench as long as
he's got 4 fouls, John.
Well, that's part of it. Yeah, that would explain it.
You know, the second half has been lasting forever. There's still 8.5 minutes to go, and you feel like
Ejiofor hits both free throws, 59-52. It seems like we've been on 8 minutes and something for 15 minutes. Jameer looks for the inbounds. They'll find Edwards in front of the St. John's bench. He dribbles out of trouble in the backcourt. Hopkins is going to try to follow him. Friars down 7. Works to the left side in front of his bench. Now Edwards comes back out of the center, curls around to the right, steps back on the left wing for Sellers. Sellers now penetrates, gets to the foul line, loses the dribble, kicks it back up. Hargrove is wide open for 3. It's no good. That's just his second attempt from 3 on the season. He missed it. Hopkins with the ball for St. John's, drives inside the lane, up fakes. Yep. But he gets the shot to go, and he gets fouled.
I thought he traveled first.
He did. He dragged his foot, but Brian O'Connell says, nope, he got fouled. And we get a timeout on the floor. Hopkins will try to make it a 3-point play. 7:52 left. The Friars are just hanging on. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball. St. John's a free throw away from going back up double digits. They had a 7-point lead at halftime. Friars have closed it on several occasions here, but Joe, as has been the case against really good teams, and especially on the road, Friars can get close. They can't get over the hump.
Yeah, I mean, the game is the way St. John's likes it right now, John, all mucked up. You know, you come down, you just have bodies flying all over the place, reaching in, fouling, getting loose balls, getting loose rebounds, and that's the way they like to play. The pressure defense, get in there and just make it a wild 94-feet game, and that's what they're doing. And they're not shooting the ball very well, obviously, but they can take a 10-point lead here with Hopkins making a free throw, but they do it with their defense. They get everything from their defense. The ball's not going in the hole for them on a regular basis. They're able to get stops and get Ejiofor all the points inside. That's how they finish. They find a way to win.
Friars have been able to get within as close as 2 here in the half. They've been as close as 3 on 2 separate occasions and can't get it any closer. And right now it's 9 with Bryce Hopkins getting ready to go to the free throw line. The foul was called on Cole Hargrove.
Friar foul trouble has Jameer Jones and Duncan Powell with 4. You got Hargrove and Floyd and Arunse with 3.
Both teams struggling to score, too. Friars shooting 25% in the half. St. John's 27%.
And Hopkins to the foul line. He is 1 for 3 in the ball game. And he makes that one. He got 5 in the half. He's got 9 points for the game. 62-52. This matches the largest second half lead of the game for St. John's. They led by 13 in the first half. The Friars struggle. There's a double team in the backcourt, but they finally get the ball inbounds, and Vaks touches over to Floyd. So a double-digit lead here. It's time for the Friar offense to find an answer. They've hit just 1 of their last 10 shots from the floor.
Trying to get Vaks open.
Driving left, Corey spins to the foul line, got it up, puts up the shot, got it blocked, and St. John's with the ball. Here's Hopkins on the break. Right side driving, Sannon missed the layup, rebound Hopkins, around the rim, no good. Hopkins gets it again, blocked from behind, and the Friars get the ball. How did that happen? Jameer Jones with it in the forecourt, goes left. Vaks, a deep 3, left wing, yes!
Boy, it's all about, that's a 5-point swing right there. St. John's misses 2 layups. Hopkins missed 2 by himself. And Vaks knocks down the 3.
Second tray of the game for Stephon Vaks, has 7. Friars back within 7. Ejiofor, top of the key, going to drive on Arunse, throws the ball away. It's out of bounds. He tried to hit Hopkins under the basket.
Well, Hopkins went the wrong way on that one. Rick Pitino has some words for Hopkins down the other end on the defense.
And we get a timeout, official timeout. 6:58 to play. 62-55. Friars back within 7. Here we go. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball. 62-55 St. John's. They led by 7 at the half. Friars have been able to get as close as 2 and 3 on 3 separate possessions here in the half. Have not yet been able to go over the hump. Crunch time's here, though.
It's crunch time, and, you know, it's been a rebounder's smorgasbord out here. You know, you look at the way the teams are shooting the ball. Second half shooting by St. John's, 5 for 21, 2 for 7 from 3. Friars are just 6 for 22, 27%. Rebounds, though, St. John's has 48 rebounds. 25 of those are offensive rebounds. Friars have a total of 32 rebounds, so 11 of those are offensive rebounds. The Friars are 8 for 50 overall, 18 for 50, overall. St. John's is 18 for 61 overall. So the Friars have the same amount of field goals, but, I mean, the shooting percentage is awful. And that favors St. John's when you got a guy like Ejiofor out there who's just crushing it on the boards. He has 14 rebounds in the game. Bryce Hopkins has 10 rebounds in the ball game, but he's struggling out there offensively. He's just 3 for 11 and 1 for 4 from 3.
Well, there's a ton of time left here. And the Friars will have the opportunity here with the basketball as we come back from the timeout. And 6:58 to go. Both teams are in the double bonus with 10 team fouls here in the second half. You mentioned the second half numbers. St. John's shooting just 24%. The Friars just 27%. So yeah, I would tell you that there has been good defense here in the second half by both sides.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting after it. It's just the rebounding side of things has been a big discrepancy, not in favor of the Friars.
Mila will inbound the basketball, and he finds Sellers, who will come get it, and he'll bring it up left to right against Dylan Darling.
Need a hoop here for the Friars.
Again, yeah. No question. To the right side,
there's the
Vaks,
guy. Oh.
and the ball got blocked by Zuby. He came late, blocked it, and snatches it out of midair. Unbelievable.
What a block by Zed. You block a three-point shooter out there, that's a heck of a block.
Driving left, Darling gives the ball back to Zuby at the foul line, going to muscle his way in, leans in, lays it up short, won't get it, and of course, a foul gets called.
Well, he just leans in, creates the contact. You know, you stop the initial bump on him, but then he jumps in, creates the contact, gets to the basket.
Man has put on his cape, his Superman cape here, with a big yellow S on the back, a red
Vaks,
S on the chest.
You know, Vaks knew the play was for him. I mean, you got to recognize you come off that screen, you're not always going to be open. You pump fake there, you get Ejiofor behind you, and now you got a wide open three. And he let it go, and Ejiofor timed it perfectly, blocked the shot. Yeah, so it's going to be like a possible 5-point swing for St. John's right there, as Ejiofor makes the first free throw.
And Mila called for the foul. Ejiofor now has a season-high 29 points, his season's third double-double with 15 rebounds, and now make it 30.
You know, Vaks is usually pretty clever with the ball. I mean, you see Ejiofor switching and running at you out of speed there. You can pump fake and get him up in the air, jump into him. Pick up a foul and get to the foul line 3 times.
Zuby Ejiofor is going to be nearing a career high momentarily. Back up by 9. Vaks hands off to Sellers. Sellers goes right to the rim. Left side tries to go in for the dunk and missed it. Off the back of the iron, and St. John's gets the rebound. Quick pass into the forecourt left for Darling. Darling stops. There's Zuby. The high-low pass is intercepted by Jameer Jones, who stepped in front of Hopkins to take it away.
Good job by Jameer.
And Jameer takes it right down the rim, lays it up, and scores.
Jameer Jones, I mean, when he's in the ball game, good things happen. What a good defensive play. They fronted. Hopkins got the steal, took a length of the court, and scored.
And Kim English calls a timeout after the made basket by Jameer Jones, who now has 10 points in the ball game. 30-second timeout here for the Friars with 6:04 still to go. So we'll reset it for you here. Both teams are in the double bonus with 10 team fouls. The Friars have 2 timeouts remaining. St. John's also with 2 timeouts remaining. Both have had 1 called here in the half. And it's 64-57, a 7-point game. Zuby Ejiofor, though, with 30 points and 15 rebounds in this game. A monster game if there ever was one.
Oh, he's the best player we've seen all year, you know, as far as dominating the game. You know, seems like Friars have a guy who just goes off against them all year long, getting their career high, and Zuby's on pace to do that as well, but he's dominated at both ends of the floor, defensively and offensively. On the rebounding side, blocking shots, and Friars have nobody physically that can match up with him, and he's been dominant the whole ball game.
His career high, 33 against Marquette last March. And he is 3 points away from matching that here against the Friars. St. John's with the ball in a 7-point lead after Kim English called the timeout. Friars back within 7. And it's Darling who will bring it right to left into the forecourt. He works on Stephon Vaks. He finds Ejiofor, who goes up, got it blocked from behind, tipped away, and Friars come up with the ball. Defensive play there by Oswin on the block.
Good job by Oswin getting up there and challenge that shot.
Mila, left side, hands off. Sellers thought about the deep 3. He fakes it. He drives it, stops at the foul line. Needs to lean in and get a shot off. He gets the shot off, and it's in and out. Oswin, offensive rebound. He gets battered by Ejiofor. And Ejiofor commits his 3rd.
Good job by Oswin staying active on the glass, John, getting that offensive rebound. But when Sellers was stuck with the ball there, John, the Friars on the perimeter, everybody stands there. You got to cut to an open spot. So he was trying to find somebody to pass the ball to, but nobody got open because they stood there. If they get open, they'll give them the ball. But Sellers had no choice but to shoot that shot.
Oswin at the foul line, swishes that first one. He's 3 of 3 at the foul line, has 5 points in the game. Hopkins comes back in to the booze to the Friars here at the Garden. Dylan Mitchell goes out.
Weirdly comes back to Providence. That'll be an ugly scene.
Oh, man alive. Second shot, Oswin, good.
Oswin doing a good job on the foul line. He's really worked on that all year, and it's showing now.
And the Friars are back within 5 with 5.5 to play. Hopkins has it on the right sideline, moves toward his own bench. Jameer Jones has the defensive assignment. High post for Ejiofor. Hands off to Oziah Sellers, uses him as a screener. Fires off a deep 3, no good. Oswin rebounds. Up the floor for Jameer. Jameer in transition again. Spins to the foul line, lays up and scores. What a move! What a move by Jameer!
And he posterized Hopkins that time as he fell down trying to pick him up on the spin.
Holy moly, what a play by the Friar freshman. Back within 3, we dip under 5 to play. Hope your seat belts are buckled.
Well, get Ejiofor, know where he is, and don't let him have.
He fires a 3, in and out, no good. Friars rebound. Up the floor, Vaks finds Oswin, dunks it!
That's a foul there. That should have been a foul. Great pass by Vaks, keeping his head up and finding Oswin down the other end for the dunk.
Wow, what a play! Mila finds the pass up the floor, finds Oswin for the dunk. And we got a timeout.
How about Jameer Jones, the play before? He gets the ball with any kind of speed, he's going to the basket. And you got to get out of the way or he's going to score.
4:42 left. It's a 1-point game from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball. Still not sure how there was not a foul called on Zuby Ejiofor on that dunk.
Yeah, that was a flat-out foul. He tried to block the dunk, and he hit Oswin from behind.
So it's a 1-point St. John's lead, and the Friar fans have awakened here at Madison Square Garden. Josan Sannon has it for the Red Storm on the left sideline. Ejiofor at the top of the key. turns, looks, feeds Hopkins down low against Sellers, spins to the outside, tries to go up, kicks the ball back out to Sandin. Now it feeds back to Ejiofor, who just bulls his way inside for a hook shot.
Come on, Osmond. You got to get on now when you can't allow that shot to go up and get the basket like that on the layup.
Full court pressure, ball is thrown in, but what was
Kim
the
English
call?
called a timeout because they couldn't get the ball in bounds.
So Kim English calls a
Rick
timeout to
Pitino's
save the
beside
possession.
himself said, hey, that should have been a 5-second call.
Yeah, that's what he comes over to complain to Brian O'Connell, but his officiating crew has missed plenty today. So Kim English calls a timeout. Both teams now have one timeout remaining in the final 4:06. We still have the under 4, I think. Or no, did we use that the last time?
You know, the way St. John's is shooting the ball from the outside, you might want to think about when Ejiofor catches the ball in the next possession to try to double team him. You know, make him pass it to somebody else. Make somebody else make an outside shot. They haven't had anybody can score. Only he's the guy who scores every time when they need a hoop.
Yeah. So the timeout called by Kim leaves the Friars with
one left.
A full timeout left. St. John's has a 30-second timeout left. Both teams in the double bonus, as they have been for the last 10 minutes, basically.
Well, there's the under 4 timeout still left as well. So, you know, if you get some minutes off the clock there, you use that under 4 on the dead ball, and then you have one left down the stretch here.
In close games this year, St. John's is 1-1 when games are decided by 5 points or less. The Friars are 0-3 in games decided by 5 points or less. Somebody's going to have to win it.
Yep. Well, this St. John's press has bothered the Friars the whole ball game with the turnovers, but Friars done a pretty good job. They had a stretch of about 12, 15 minutes where they didn't turn the ball over at all. Against this press, St. John's is trying to deny the ball inbounds, and now late in the game they'll double team the ball. The guy guarding the ball out of bounds will go over and double team the ball if it goes into the corner. So you like to avoid the ball going into the corner, but if that, you got to get the ball in bounds. So if the guy in the corner is open, you got to get him the ball.
66-63. St. John's with a 3-point lead. Friars have been as close as 1 here in the second half. It was a 7-point game at halftime. St. John's scored the first 13 points in the game, which seems like 3 days ago. Friars came back to take a 2-point lead in the first half before trailing by 7 at halftime. And now they've had it as close as 1 here in the second half, now down 3. So we talk about a game that has been back and forth. The Friars are really their own worst enemies in that regard.
Yeah.
But plenty of fight in this game. And the one thing I think you can look at as you really put the microscope on these guys is there's definitely an improved effort defensively on the floor today.
Oh, it has. I mean, they've taken away the 3-point shooting from St. John's and making Ejiofor beat him, what he's been doing. I mean, he's done a good job out there, but Friars have done a good job on the perimeter defensively. You know, St. John's average is 86 points a game. They get, held them to 66 here with 4 minutes to go. So the defense has been good. Neither team shooting the ball very well, but it's been a good battle on both ends. And St. John's winning that rebounding battle, and that's the difference in the game right now.
Well, the Friars are last in the Big East in scoring defense. They give opponents almost 84 points per game. And they've given St. John's 66 to this point. So you can definitely see a numerical improvement, if nothing else. Yep. But I would tell you that there has been toughness on the floor exhibited this afternoon that, frankly, we haven't seen a lot of.
You know what gives them that toughness is Jameer Jones, the freshman. He comes in there. He's been matched up against Hopkins the whole game, and he has outplayed Hopkins easily in this ball game, bumping him around out there. Jameer has 12 points. He's 5 for 6, 7 rebounds. Doing a really good job out there, the young freshman, in his first game in Madison Square Garden.
So the long timeout called here, television went away for it, which is why it's taken us forever to get back to the play here. Friars will have the basketball, trailing by 3. You've got Sellers, Vaks, Rooke, Jones, and who's the 5th?
Vaks.
Milo.
Milo in there?
Ryan's going to inbound the basketball.
No press by St. John's.
Yeah, they're called off the press for the time being. Now here we go. Coming up on the 4-minute mark.
You got Mila handing a point right now.
So Mila's against Josan Sandin. Uses the high screen, cuts to the right, Works to the right sideline, hands off for Sellers. Sellers curls against Darling, steps back, 18-footer off the iron, no good. Rebound on the floor, loose. Is picking up by Oswin.
Oswin on the glass.
Has it in front of his bench, turns and looks. He gives it to Mila, who goes up and gets it blocked from behind. Hopkins got it that time. Oh my goodness, what a play by Bryce Hopkins.
Really good play by
Ryan Mila. And St. John's with the ball. Now can they take advantage and score? Darling bounces left for Salmon. Salmon turns, looks at Stefan Vaks. He waits for Sellers to clear off the screen, gets to the foul line, jumper up and in.
Nice move there by Sellers. Smooth move, came off that screen.
Wow. That was a huge turnaround.
That's
6
a
points.
4-point swing right there.
Yeah, 6 for Uzziah Sellers. Inbounds comes to Jalen Sellers. It's a 5-point game. We're coming up on 3 minutes to play.
I like to see Sellers get something going to the basket here.
Absolutely.
Or even Vaks with a 3.
Vaks has it out near the midcourt circle. Cuts to the left, goes left, gonna fire off an off-balance 3.
Count it!
And he
Count
gets
it!
fouled! Holy moly!
What a shot by Vaks. That's a good hoop, and he's gonna get fouled.
Dylan Darling got him!
That's a 4-point play opportunity.
Third 3 of the half for Stefan Vaks, the Friar freshman from Estonia. Holy smokes!
What a game.
Darling gets called for the foul. Vaks at the line. And the free throw is good. A 4-point play. Pulls Providence back within 1 with 2:51 on the clock. St. John's with the ball. Darling, mid-floor circle against Jalen Sellers. Crosses over in front of him, works to the right side for Uzziah Sellers. Lobs it out front for Zuby. To the foul line, hands off to Hopkins, pulls over the jumper, off the rim, no. Jameer with a rebound. Friars can take the lead on this possession.
Go, Jameer, go to the basket.
Goes right to the rim on Zuby, won't get it, foul called. Foul called.
Good job there by Jones getting that rebound and going to the basket to pick up the foul.
4 fouls on Zuby Ejiofor. And Jameer Jones can go to the free throw line and give his team the lead for the first time in the second half.
This kid can play, man. Good things happen when he's around. Kim Ingles put him in the starting lineup. He knocks down the first free throw.
Jameer has.
He has totally outplayed Bryce Hopkins in that matchup in this game.
That's not even a question. Jameer has 13 points in the game. 8 have come here in the second half. For the lead. Got it! 69-68. Friars lead for just the second time of the game. Steal by Sellers.
They called a foul.
My.
Matt Potter, come on, man. He picked him clean.
He picked Ian Jackson clean near the mid-floor line, and he's called for a foul. Oh, what is that?
Holy cow.
Matt Potter, what are you doing? Wow.
Man, if St. John's did that, it wouldn't have been any call.
No, that's a breakaway the other way.
Man, that's a tough
call.
That
is a nasty call.
He anticipated that crossover dribble and stole it.
Jackson at the line. Hits the first free throw.
You got to box out here now. Friars lost a couple of rebounds on missed free throws by St. John so far in this ball game. Ejiofor is going to come out now. Offense-defense situation with the 4 fouls with Ejiofor.
Ruben Prey comes in. And Jackson has 5 points, 3 of 3 at the line, can give his team the lead again with 2:22 left. It's on the way, and it's good.
It's always a close game for these two teams.
Full court pressure by St. John's. Friars down 1. Neela runs the baseline, looking for the inbounds. He gets an inbounds to Vaks, and then he gets knocked to the floor. Is there a foul? No, it's just the ball got poked out of bounds by St. John's in front of the bench. So this time they'll inbound it from the sideline in the backcourt. Well, it's been, yeah.
Well, Vaks threw it off.
He threw it off of Jackson.
Otherwise, it would have been a turnover there.
And now they're going to move it down a little bit, more towards the player's side instead of in front of the fans. And there's a wraparound pass for Sellers. The Friars looking to retake the lead on this possession with 2:15 on the clock. It's 70-69. Vaks out on the perimeter. Uses a high screen, rolls to the right off of Jackson. Wrap around pass, Sellers wide open, step to the left, fires off the three, off the rim, no good. Jameer with the offensive rebound, out to Vaks. Vaks step to the left, open three, yes!
Yeah, he got Hopkins up in the air to fly by him. Vaks took his time and knocks down the three.
4 threes in the half for Vaks. Friars lead by a deuce. We're under 2 minutes to play. Timeout, St. John's. Woo. Dunk south, baby. Dunk south. Wow. Are you kidding me? St. John's calls their final timeout with 1:50 to go, and the Friars have grabbed the lead.
Are they going to do a full here? No, they still have a 30-second timeout up on this board there. I don't know if they're taking a full one.
No, it's off. It's a 30.
It's a 30.
So they're out of timeouts. 1:50 to go. Friars have 1 timeout remaining. It's a full if they want to use it. But now Rick Pitino, I mean, is there any choice here? You get the ball to Zuby and let him use his bull in the China shop offense and go to work.
Yeah, that's what you got to go to him.
I don't know how you can not play zone here, but again, that's just me. Mila, Jones, Vaks, Arunse, Sellers out on the floor for the Friars.
Kim Ingles had to be preaching good, solid defense on the ball and box out. Don't give him a second shot opportunity. You got to keep him off the boards.
Inbounds. St. John's controls it to Dylan Darling. Mid-floor circle. Basket to our left. Bounces left for Sannon. Sannon, the Fall River freshman, or sophomore, I should say. Top of the key. Back to Sannon. Curls to the right at the elbow. Open jumper up. No good. Rebound tip. Friars got it. Sannon missed the jumper. Vaks with the rebound. Up before to Jameer. Crosses over. Challenges. Got the shot blocked. There's a foul called.
Jameer Jones, he knows one speed. Go to the basket. Gets it on the wing there, and he pushes up the floor. Picks up the foul.
Sannon is called for the foul. That's his 4th with 1:27 to go. And it will be Jameer Jones right back to the free throw line. And the first one is no good.
All right. Jameer knocked this one down.
He's hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 of 6 from the line of the ball game. Second one is on the way. That one's good.
He's got ice water, man. He just has a great feel for the game. Just a freshman.
73-70. This is the largest Friar lead of the ball game.
Jones been out there with 4 fouls for a while, too.
Bounce pass down low. Zuby turns and looks at Oswin. Uses the baseline, spins, lost the ball, picks it up, kicks the ball out. Sannon for 3. No. Rebound.
Jones.
Friars. Jones with the rebound, and then Zuby reaches in, tries to strip him with the ball.
Man.
They're going to call a held ball. Come on, Brian O'Connell. Come on, man.
Well,
what are you doing?
Jones got to get out of there. You can't curdle the ball there like he did. And Zuby reached in on him. He's got to move that ball out of there. See him just cradle it there? He wasn't ready for it. You got to be ready to get that ball out of there.
And
good play by Zuby.
Possession arrow belongs to St. John's, so they'll inbound it here with 1:07 to go. From the left side of the baseline into Zuby, who puts it up, missed the shot, and a foul is called. Of course it is. Holy smokes. These officials know nothing but to blow the whistle when Zuby, that's a clean block. We just saw it on the replay. Oswin got a clean block on that, and Brian O'Connell blew the whistle.
Who's surprised?
Holy, this makes me want to pull out what hair I have left. But I think I'll keep mine because you had enough of yours gone.
Oh, come on, man. Why are you going to bring me into that? That's messed up. What's wrong with you?
Zuby has 2 shots at the line. The first one is in and out. Balls don't lie.
Justice. Box out here.
Oswin was picked up the 3rd person on that play with 1:04 to go. So he stayed out of foul trouble for the most part here. Now Zuby needs 1 here to put his team back within 2. 64 seconds left.
There's a ton of time left in this game.
And the shot is good. That gives Ejiofor 32. 33
ball
now.
in bounds
that
here.
matches his career high with 33. Mila runs the baseline.
looking for the inbounds. They'll find Jameer.
Jameer will go get it.
73-71. 60 seconds left. Friars with the ball. Hopkins gets up close to Jameer. He spins out of trouble. He's going to go right to the rim. Up fakes, drives, won't get it. Rebound tipped on the floor. Mila steals it on the right side.
Give it to Vaks. Shoot
Vaks won't take the shot. Pulls it out. Friars are going to work the shot clock. Down to 10 to shoot, 39 to play.
Oh, this would be great against Hopkins.
Vaks against Hopkins, top of the key, crosses over, drives, dishes up.
Hello!
Flushes
Hello!
it. Oswin flushed it home.
What a move by Vaks.
Friars by 4, 28 seconds left. Ejiofor fakes the three. Shannon takes the drive to the right side. Back out to Hopkins. Now finds Ejiofor. Ejiofor for three. No good. Rebound. Oswin! Friars up the floor. There's Vaks wide open. He's going to lay it up.
Yeah, baby.
11 seconds left. It's
yeah, baby.
77-71. Providence is going to beat St. John's in the Garden. Holy moly. Three-pointer. Hopkins misses everything.
Off the backboard.
Friars with a rebound. It's
Hello.
over.
Yes, baby, yes.
It's over.
Woo.
Dunk South lives.
Good night, Irene. What a play by Vaks.
Wow.
Jameer Jones and Vaks, the two freshmen, were unbelievable in this ball game. What a terrific win for Kim English and this Friar team.
Providence, after trying all year long to get over the hump, finally breaks through against a nationally ranked team in St. John's. 77-71, the final score.
What a satisfying win that was. Friars got through all that. The Ejiofor had an unbelievable ball game, but the Friars in the clutch were just terrific. And this kid, Vaks, what a great game he had in the second half. He just ate up Hopkins on that last roll back to the basket, and Oswin dunks it home. And Jameer Jones, John, was a beast in this game. He totally outplayed Hopkins, and the Friars win the game because of these two young freshmen here, the way they played this ball game.
Vaks and Jones, the Friar future. But they delivered in the present. Providence gets off the schneid. They get their first Big East win, and it snaps an 8-game losing streak against top 25 teams.
Great game. Great setup here in St. John's and Madison Square Garden. And, you know, the Friars had to sit around for 2 weeks to get this game. They lost 2 tough games on the road at Butler in overtime, lose a tough game at home to Seton Hall. This is a team that we expected this year. They came through big in the clutch. And, John, this is the best defensive effort they've had all year.
All year easy, by far.
You have to play good defense to win in conference play. They played great defense for 40 minutes in this ball game. Big reason why they won.
Our Santander post-game wrap-up from Madison Square Garden comes next after we catch our breath. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.